What's up, guys and gals? Welcome to another episode of What's the Diff? Today we have a special episode for you. In a new segment called What About This? We'll each bring a topic to the table for an open discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an argument, but contained.
Into one
We'll
room.
see about that.
Four people who love to argue.
Yeah.
I am Socrates Josh. With me today is Aristotle Cully, Plato Keenan,
How about Play-Doh? It's gushy and weird. You can
Play-Doh.
mush it around.
It's salty.
salty if you eat it.
and getting philosophical with us, our special guest, Ian.
Philosophical.
What a
Philosophical.
Philosophical.
Was that? Are you trying to? Were you just saying
Philosophical.
that? Philosophical.
Yeah. Let's
Philosoph-
get philosophical. Philosophical. You know?
I think it's physical, but continue.
Today, we'll be getting into time travel versus teleportation. What's scarier, the ocean or space? And caves versus tunnels. At the end, we'll play the no-name trivia game with me hosting as Cully defends his championship title.
What? God, I have not been winning.
I was the wiener.
I feel like I could compete in that.
Oh, yeah.
Not.
I
Sure.
can't.
I'm pretty weenie.
Fucking
At least with the history shit, dude.
Dude, I was
could
like,
get every single
I
one
have
of those.
I have no idea. All the science ones, I'm like,
Or
bang, bang.
geography.
That was rough.
I like
I'm
geography.
pretty good at geography.
Last episode, we were like, yeah, we got nothing, dude. What did I win? It was like 2-2, right?
No, I think you won.
No, you. I'm so confused. I thought you asked the
thought-
questions on one.
No, you won 3-4.
Oh, that was close.
Well, yeah, I forgot what the questions were.
Anyway.
The history one was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I kept giving you guys history questions, and you're like, I
Those
got nothing.
I feel like those were pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yours were fucking easy as shit.
Yeah, where's the fucking
Like-
Grand Canyon? Oh.
What is it? Colorado?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and you said Nevada. I'm like, you guys fucking out of here right now? Like, dude.
Yeah,
I think
our
it kind of goes
research.
into
Yeah, but it's
Nevada.
in the Grand Canyon, like, national.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't the question.
I was
though.
close.
The canyon, I mean, shit, the
Technically,
Colorado
yeah.
River comes from
Yeah, that's
Colorado, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. We made a
Mhm.
canyon. It's just really small, not as grand. Want to hear one of your topics debated? You can connect with us at whatsthediff.net. Leave us a voicemail at 802-884-3553, bitch. Or send a voice clip to us at hellowhatsthediff@gmail.com.
Yeah, you can also text that number if you'd like.
Yeah, you can. You
Good
can
job,
text-
Coley. You forgot
you can
that.
text.
You
I
forgot
didn't.
to say that.
I ad-libbed last time. You can
Yeah.
text it.
It's okay. It's fine.
God. No,
He's
they're
doing-
never going to
Well,
take
fucking
this.
redo the whole episode now.
All right, let's do it again.
Start over.
You guys want to just do it?
Yes, let's jump right in. Who
Just go.
wants to start?
I want to start.
Okay, start us off.
Okay, I feel like this is kind of like where the episode or the podcast idea kind of started from. Caves versus tunnels seems like really simple, but it's fucking not.
I
so
got some shit today. I was thinking
good.
about this.
Good. I hope you guys were.
Oh yeah.
So as far as I know, this is probably like the most literarily complex like topic in the English language. A hole or a cave or a tunnel or a tube or a grotto or, you know, what's the other one?
El
There's-
Dorado?
There's more. These
A mine
ideas are
shaft.
so similar.
mine shaft.
Sure, a shaft. These ideas, a well, right?
Well, yeah.
So, like, how much overlap is there between all of these? Because there's so many things that are holes in Earth.
Yes.
But what defines each one of them? And, you know.
I would say the activity.
Whoa.
We didn't think about that
Oh,
one.
shit.
What are we doing? Well, I was thinking about like
That's crazy. I've never. All
Blew
of
this
them.
thing fucking wide open.
That's fucking hilarious.
like you know those drainage ditches you get like corrugated piping.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be man-made. That's a tube, I would say, because it's circular.
Okay.
But if you look at a tunnel, like where a train goes through the mountain, that's an archway that has the ground on the bottom. It's not quite a complete circle.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the difference.
Okay, but there's tunnels that do have complete circles.
There's
Well,
also tunnels that aren't man-made.
they're fucking
Well-
weird.
Yeah.
There's like
like mole tunnels.
ancient moles and creatures that made like tunnels and shit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's more of a hole than a cave.
Yeah, I think a cave has no. It's one entrance, one exit. That's it. It's one way in and out. That's a cave.
Would you have a cave with no exit, or would that just be a hole?
Well, if you have no
Well, what's-
exit, then how do you get in there? Like,
The way
Yeah.
you got in.
So the hole,
It's
the
one way
entrance,
in
the
and
hole.
yeah, the entrance is also.
So
the
we're
exit.
agreeing that the hole is the beginning, or like the two-dimensional portal into this.
We all come from Hull, so yes, we agree.
Or is it a cavern?
Ooh.
God. Okay. Well, hold on a second. Okay, so so you're arguing that a
We'll get
cave is one entrance, one exit.
Yeah.
One hole.
It utilizes the same entrance and exit.
I would say
That's
that's
a
more of a tunnel.
No, tunnels
Well-
go out the other side. I think they
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Tunnel is through.
Yeah, tunneling you have to have that through fare.
I feel like last time we had this conversation, I was so hungover. It was way easier to think about. Right now, I'm like, I don't know. It's a hole.
It all.
So
holds.
we have had this. Ian and I have had this conversation before with some other people.
I think it
Well-
started at base like 3 years ago originally,
Yeah,
and then we just
we went on a road trip to get our buddy, and I think we talked for a good hour
at least
at least
it was going for quite a long time.
about the nuances of our basically like our language and like what are like the differences between these things, because like you're saying, if a cave only has one entrance and exit, I have seen cave signs for things that you would be calling a tunnel.
Yeah, because they can have two, but like when I hear the word cave, I think of like a carved out part of a rock or
Naturally
ground.
or man-made?
Yeah, naturally.
I mean, usually naturally.
usually naturally.
You can still have an unnatural cave.
if it's man made, then it's a fort.
Or like I feel like if it's a man-made, it's normally a grotto because they got
could
like
be.
water and shit.
No, but aren't grottos
And
like
it's-
only naturally occurring things?
No, you can like
have, like, a
make a
water-
grotto, but
Oh, really?
I'm pretty
um,
sure.
The Playboy Bunny Mansion has a grotto in their swimming pool.
Yeah, so
It's
that's
like the most
technically-
famous grotto,
Oh,
it can be man-made.
which I
I
think
didn't know
it
that.
has something to do with water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gotta have
there
water.
has to be water.
There has
Yeah.
to be water.
So
But I
grotto-
think
But
what
is
we
it under a waterfall?
I think what we looked up is a grotto is like I think it's just like a beautiful cave with water because
like fine
no, like
shit.
straight up
Yeah.
the definition, and then you can have a cave with water that's not a grotto. I think by definition it has to be like a beautiful.
it has to be pretty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
natural or artificial cave. Okay,
Well,
there's some
that's-
overlap. Used by humans in both modern times and antiquity. Are often small caves near water that are flooded or sometimes flooded during high tides. They're like behind, like if you go behind a waterfall and you see a little cave back there, that's a grotto.
That's
but it
what
can
I
also
was
have
thinking.
water flooding
Yeah.
the base of it too.
Yeah, it's got to be behind a waterfall.
But yeah,
It's
you can make
cool.
them too, and that's still considered. But it literally says right here, it's a cave.
Grotto is a type of cave.
Small
Yeah.
cave. So if that's a type of
Small
cave and it has a back to it, that even if so what if your cave was 100 feet tall, 100 feet wide, 10 feet back?
I
It's
mean,
just like a fucking chunk
I'd say
taken
that's
out of
just
a
like
wall.
a concave in a
It's an amphitheater.
yeah.
yeah.
I feel like okay, a cave has to be like it has to go into the rock. It can't
Yeah.
just be a little like but I feel like you could have a cave with no exit. It can just be in and out.
Yeah.
And it's still a cave as long as maybe it has to have like you have to be able to walk in.
Okay.
almost.
Okay.
You have to be able to step inside and like be
Or
in a
crawl in.
different. Like you'd be
You-
like, this is a different room.
Yes. Yeah.
But I feel like you can still have a cave that you don't walk into. Like you could fall into a cave.
Okay.
well,
That,
yeah. Same
I-
thing. You
I-
have to be like
One
In-
entrance, one exit. I think that's the
the same,
defining
the same
feature.
entrance and same exit.
Yeah.
So is that entrance and exit? This is the whole thing too. Like, is it, if it's flat on the ground, you don't say watch out for that cave in the ground. But if it's
What?
if there's a
You mean
hole
like
with
a
an entrance and
pothole?
an exit,
Oh.
sure, a pothole, a hole with a just like a fucking. I dug out a hole with a shovel. It's 6 feet deep.
no,
Yeah.
That's
that
not a
wouldn't be a
fucking-
cave.
That's
That'd
a
be a
hole.
hole.
Okay, but we just said the hole is an entrance and exit to a
Well,
cave.
it's also like it has to be big enough. Like it's like the difference between a pebble and a boulder is the size. So if a hole needs to have that vertical, I mean, and I don't know, because holes are also defined differently. Like, because like if you look at a straw, which we could probably say is a tube
Yes.
Because it
Yeah.
does have
or a
yeah.
tunnel, like
A
it has
small
two
water
holes, and it can
Yeah.
be both vertical, horizontal, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like you can still have a cave that has an entrance towards the top, and you can fall
Totally,
into.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if I dug a hole that was like 6 feet deep and a foot wide,
Well, you
That's
just made
just a
yourself
hole.
a good old hole.
You just made a great. Are you gonna?
but
fill
to a
concrete,
gopher,
put
that's a
posts in it?
cave, right? Just 'cause
Well,
it's-
I mean,
I guess.
relatively,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
okay.
Well, to an ant, a straw is like a tunnel,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it's just a fucking straw to us.
Yeah, it's just size. But if you're saying you dig a 6-foot hole, 1 foot wide, you're saying that's a cave to something smaller than us.
So why isn't that a cave to us? Because we can't fit in it.
Well, I don't know. I think of cave being like small opening, but once you get inside, it opens up wider.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
That is a cavern.
not necessarily.
Caverns are when it opens up wide. If you're in a cave system and
If it's really big, yeah. But
so
like,
if I'm in a well, they call them lava tubes.
but look at the
But if I'm in a cave, a lava cave,
yeah,
a natural lava cave tube,
yeah, cave tube.
and or tunnel, if there's another end to it, and it is a certain height, like 10 feet high, and then all of a sudden it's 40 feet in one room for like 100-foot distance, and then it closes back up again.
Well,
That is
that's a-
technically a cavern.
Yeah, that's a
Like the
cavern 'cause that's
room
40
is the
feet.
cavern.
That one room
inside
is the
a
cavern.
cave.
I'm
Yeah.
saying there's like 1.5-foot hole that you can shimmy your way into, but once you crawl inside, it opens up to like a big, like a snow cave or a cave that a bear would hibernate.
So are you
Yeah.
saying so the whole thing's a cave, or is it like a hole until it's a cave?
like the whole thing's a cave.
So a hole in the ground without knowing if it turns into a cavern
Could
or
be a
not
cave.
could be a cave. So why are we just calling it a hole?
Well, because
Because it's
we don't
easier.
know.
Because we don't know it's a cave.
okay. If you're digging it's a hole, no matter how big it is.
Okay.
I feel like.
I do think that's
But-
another definition is that caves are always
But
natural.
yeah, because if I dig into a cliff, I can like make a cave, but it's like it's not really a cave because I'm making it.
Yeah, I think it has to be natural. If you dig into a cliff and you make what looks exactly like a cave, you're making a tunnel, right?
Well, no, a tunnel has to have an end.
So you're making a tube. What are you
You're
making?
making a
Hole.
You're making a hole.
hole.
I think you're just making a hole.
But it's a long. But oh man, see, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, once it gets super long, like you dig a mile into this thing.
Because I would
and-
never say, "Hey, I'm digging a hole."
Oh, okay.
Digging a
Then what
path.
would like a mine shaft be? Would you call that a cave or a tunnel?
If it's not
That's
man,
I would
or a
call
mine
that
shaft.
I would call that a tunnel.
Yeah, I
If
would
it was
call
man-made,
it. I
it's a
guess it doesn't need to
tunnel.
have an exit on the other end.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
it,
but
I guess a
maybe-
mine shaft going into the mountain, and it just stops in the mountain. It would still be a tunnel, I suppose.
Yeah, because you're tunneling into this mountain.
Yeah. In a
So
mine
like
shaft.
at some point, digging a hole can turn into tunneling.
tunnels have two ends,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
it
I'm
has to
saying.
have an exit and so. But if I'm tunneling into a mountain and I don't make another exit, that's not technically a tunnel.
Yeah.
That's why we call it a mine shaft.
Well, mine shafts are
Because people are like, "Oh, it's not a tunnel." And we're like, "Well, fuck you. It's a mine shaft then."
Yeah. Then I guess it's.
But I think
just
tunneling is
a
also
shaft.
a horizontal expression, whereas mine shafts are more like that's like a hole, but it's for mining, so we call it a mine shaft.
Mine shafts can be horizontal.
I mean,
or
yeah.
diagonal.
They
I
they
know.
can ebb
But
and
tunnels
flow.
are
and-
horizontal, I'm pretty sure, by definition. At least they mostly have to run horizontally. Like you can exit and enter.
You could have a vertical tunnel.
No, I don't think by definition you can.
Well, what would you call? So, like going into a storm drain, right? You have to go through an access point
Yeah.
in the road. So you open up the manhole,
Yeah.
and you have to crawl down a tube. Would you say that's some sort of tunnel, or that's just a tube that you crawl down to get into?
I naturally would say tunnel.
the
Yeah.
sewer system.
I don't think I would ever say tube unless
So
tube,
once you're
tube
in,
feels man-made as fuck.
once
I
you're
say
in the stormwater system,
tube.
you're in a tunnel or a tube.
You're in a labyrinth.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
fucked.
wow.
You're not getting out. That's
If
for
I'm
sure.
if I'm in a storm drain system,
Yeah.
God,
I mean, it's tubes.
I'd say it's a tunnel system.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking. It's a
Yeah.
tunnel
it's a
system.
tunnel.
Yeah.
a really shitty one, but
Yeah.
I'm reading here though,
Literally.
too that
That's
this
good.
literally says a pipeline is not a tunnel. So a pipeline, even though it's like literally, so sewage those would be pipes.
Yes.
yeah.
So that's not
Or
a tunnel.
tubes.
Those aren't tunnels.
But I was saying it's like stormwater.
I mean, that's also pipes.
But they're made out of pipes. So pipeline,
Yeah, but no, I mean like not around here, but there are.
like New York sewage.
Yeah, New York they have fucking caverns.
But it's made
underneath.
using pipes, which technically, like it just said, they aren't tunnels. They're not pipelines. So it'd be pipelines. I guess.
But wouldn't pipeline? Doesn't that kind of hint at like there's some sort of pressure?
Not
No.
necessarily.
Gas pipelines are just. I mean,
Well, gas
There's air
pipelines are
pressure.
pressure.
I
Yeah.
feel like as long as it's transporting something, it can be a pipeline.
Mm.
So like, well,
because
I don't know.
Because if you're in a tunnel on a train, you're transporting coal.
You're in a
Yes.
You're in a human pipeline.
you call that
yes,
a pipeline.
yeah.
I would,
but you
but-
I would not call it a
you
pipeline.
call
It
a
could
tunnel.
also be
tunnel.
yeah, it'd be a tunnel.
A meat pipeline. Gross.
Yeah, well, I think it's more the fact of like what you're doing. So with the
Yeah, I
storm
wanna
drain
get
system
back to that.
and sewer, you're using pipes, which is why it's called a pipeline because you're laying down a line of pipe,
You're laying pipe.
laying pipe.
Sick.
That's what
Fuck
they call
yeah,
me.
buddy.
Fuck
The
yeah.
pipeline.
Laying pipe.
So that I think that's the difference with that one right there.
Pipes and tunnels and tubes.
Yeah.
So is a straw a pipeline because you're transporting water through it?
Well, it's. I mean, you
Feel
can
like
make the argument
just a
that
small ass
it's
pipeline.
a small
Yeah.
pipe.
Essentially, yeah. Everything's a whole.
So
Well-
everything is a whole, though, yeah.
Everything
Yes.
starts
I-
as a whole. It has to start with
Everything. Yeah, everything starts with the hole.
A whole.
But if it's
They-
if it's a tunnel, does it end with a hole as well?
Yeah.
So
What
it's
would you call
two
the
holes.
doorway?
The entrance.
Yeah. A wall hole.
A hole.
Would
That's
okay.
absolutely a hole.
It wouldn't be
Yeah.
a really really thin tunnel.
It could be. It could be.
It's a tunnel into a
Different
But-
cavern.
cavern.
Like okay, take a straw though, at whatever standard length. If you chopped it into an inch segment, it's still a tube. It's just short. And if you keep cutting it, it's still a tube.
It's.
But it's just
But what if
closer
you
and
cut it
closer and
down
closer
to the
together.
same as a sheet of paper in
like a
length?
hole punch.
And it's just
It's just a
hole
ring,
punch. Yeah, it's a
essentially?
ring. Is that still a tube?
I
Because
think
at that
so.
point, it's just an entrance.
I feel like
to-
it'd be a tube if you're like an atom. Like if you're I feel like all this is just perspective, like how
Yeah.
big the thing is.
Yeah.
'Cause for
that's a good
us-
point.
No, that wouldn't be a pipeline or a tube, but to like a fucking germ,
Yeah.
it would be a tube.
Yeah. I can agree with that. It's
So
all perspective,
when I'm
size
hole
perspective.
punching with a hole puncher, am I really tunnel punching?
Yeah, you're tunneling.
Yeah, you're tunneling.
So you think that's just like a matter of relativity?
Yeah. It's all about size.
So why do they call it a hole puncher?
Well, because you're punching
Because
holes
to us
into
it's
paper.
a hole. But to something smaller, it
Okay.
would be a tunnel.
They would
Or a
sell more if
pipeline.
they called it a tunneling device, though.
I
You
think
need a
we
tunneling
decided it
device
was a
for your
tunneling
paper?
Yeah.
device.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Technically.
Technically,
is.
it's a tunneling device.
It's just boring a hole through a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
I-
to
I like
something
that.
small, it'd be fucking huge.
Okay, so we're saying caves are always natural, and they're horizontal. They can move different directions, but generally they're horizontal, and they don't have an end.
I disagree with some of that.
What parts?
I think that a cave, as long as you can like, if you're going in, like, oh, fuck, dude, this is. I should have
yeah.
drank before this. Okay,
I know, I
as long
should've
as you
done
can
Red Bull.
go in, it can still be a cave if you. Okay, how do I'm gonna pass.
Because, I mean, like, here's the question that comes up is you go into a cave, right? And you're walking around, and all of a sudden you see, like, another, like, entryway basically to like another thing, and now you're in a cave system.
Catacombs.
That's
So
man-made.
when
Oh,
does
that's
it
man-made.
stop being a cave system and starts being a tunnel system? Is it when you just find another way out of the cave system that isn't that initial entrance?
By
feel
our
like it'd
definition so far,
be
I
a-
guess.
Tunnel system if it's man-made, but a cave system if it's natural.
So if it has an exit, it can still be
I
a
would
cave
agree with
system.
that. I
And
would
like
agree
a
with that,
cave
yeah.
system can have multiple exits or no exit. You just have to be like subterranean
Yeah.
in an expansive-ish area. Like
I don't think we need to have one exit and entrance for or for a hole. Or sorry, God, Jesus Christ. A cave. I think caves can be exits or not exits. Like I think they're just more natural, and tunnels are more man-made.
I don't know. I think it's on the money with the one
exit.
entrance, one exit. But then once you have a cave system, then you're able to throw it out because now you have multiple caves that are now somehow connected in some way
By tubes.
by tubes.
But you just threw out your own definition because there's an exit somewhere else.
well, no, now it's a different thing.
but if
But
okay,
you're still saying cave system though.
It's a
Yeah,
cave
it's a
system
cave
because
system.
you're combining caves into
Multiple.
one.
why
Plural.
does
Plural
why does
caves.
it need an exit to be a cave? Like if I'm going into this subterranean room, wouldn't it still be a cave if I go out the same exact way I came in?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's just a hole.
No, I say caves can have both though.
Yeah, they can have. I think yeah.
You think that? Yeah, we're split on that then.
Or what about
Yeah.
you go in, hole in the ground, you go in, it's a cave, and you see another little hole at the back of the cave, and you crawl through that, and it goes into another cave. That's
It'd
a
be
cave
a system. Yeah.
But did you go through a tunnel, or a tube,
I'd say go through a hole.
or a hole?
when you conjoin, when you went from one cave to another.
Yeah,
Like
and you
what
had
is
to
that?
say you had to crawl like through a 1 foot tube 6 feet into the next hole.
I'd call it a hole.
Well,
Is
then
that still part
I-
of the cave system?
No,
though?
the hole is the entrance and the exit of that in that little small.
the
tube.
initial cave.
I'd say cave, little guy here, tube to another cave, and the holes are just the ends of the tube.
Yeah, which then once the tube gets too
I'd-
small, then it turns from two holes on each side, and the
Yeah.
tube in between. They're close enough together that you can consider that as
I'd say,
a
where's
hole.
that hole go? And then once I climb through it, I'd say, oh, I'm in a tube and I'm exiting out the other hole.
Yeah.
So it has to do with size and where
Yeah,
you are.
I think
in
two-dimensional is hole. I think hole is just 2D. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
going past that. Anything past that is a tube or a tunnel or a cave.
yeah.
Holes
Okay.
are just like the doorways.
But then what would be like if I dig a 6-foot hole in the ground?
Fuck, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, see
I
now
think you can
that
crawl
it's
through a
down-
hole. Like I feel like a tunnel has to be man-made.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I feel
But you can have not man-made tunnels.
Well,
okay.
it wouldn't be a tube.
It wouldn't.
I
yeah.
don't think it would be a
But
tube.
lava tubes, they're called lava tubes, no matter what size and shape they are.
Yeah. Well,
feel
a
like-
a tube just describes a shape
Yeah, that's
So
true.
the shape is two holes with a long
with an elongated piece.
in the middle.
And you can make the argument whether a tube is still a tube if it's infinitesimally small. Like if
Yeah.
you just have like a nanometer between the holes, you can make the argument that it could technically still be a tube.
because
but-
there's a distance between the two holes.
Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, if you got something that small, you know, to the naked eye, you'd be like, that
Okay, so
is
tube
a
describes
hole.
a shape. I like that. I've never heard that. That makes a lot of fucking sense because you got like lava tubes, you got like a straw's a tube. You go
Yeah.
to the water park, there's tubes.
Yeah.
What about like if you're building a house, and you have like a piece of I want to say foundation, but that's not right.
A beam?
Yeah, you have a beam. You have a big beam, 8 by 8, fucking big beam, and you have to bore a hole through it and put a lag bolt in to keep it connected to
making
the
a-
other shit.
Mhm.
If
You're-
you drill a hole into something to create a pass through, is that a tunnel or is that a tube?
You're not transporting anything. It's not a tunnel. It's a tube.
but you are transporting the
The
lag bolt.
I think it could be a tunnel or a tube.
The tube's the shape of it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
definitely making
it's
the
just
tube.
the shape. You're
when
you-
bore it, you're making a hole that turns into a tube
Yeah, yeah.
or tunnel.
I'd say you're
to-
tunneling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
you're-
can't pass through except for if you're
and
You
tunnels
can.
have an
an
exit.
inch diameter or
If
whatever.
I
tunnels
mean,
have an
if we
exit,
were
then-
if we were a bug, it would be a tunnel.
Yeah. So it goes back to what you were saying, how everything is size.
It's just size.
Everything has to do with size.
Yes.
But,
Okay.
but tunnels have exits. That's the point. That's what
I know,
tunnels
but it
have.
would have an exit.
But say
Yeah.
what if you drilled in and you drill like an inch from the end of it?
Then it would be a
Then it's a hole.
hole.
But we just agreed earlier that holes are only the 2D part.
Well, no. If I dig a 6-foot hole, it's still a hole.
Yeah, but that was talking about downward.
Well,
vertical.
It doesn't matter. I
It
could
doesn't matter.
I think
which
punch
way.
a hole in this wall.
And it's
Don't.
still
It'd be a hole.
not that well.
It'd be a
I'm
tunnel.
not going to.
No,
favorite wall.
you punch a hole, but it'd be a tunnel to the other side.
What if I didn't go all the way through? I just punched
Then
a hole
it'd
in the wall.
be
Well, then you just made yourself a cave.
a cave.
Or did you make a cavern
But
because you
caves are
opened up a space
natural,
Yeah,
so that
between
would
the drywall into where
But
the
no, but
insulation
caverns
is.
and caves are natural.
So
There's no man-made cave.
I think
Okay,
what we're
I
getting to
don't
hold
think.
up on is these definitions. We see them as black and white.
We're getting
Yeah.
holed up on.
Yeah, I'll hold up on.
Shit.
It's gray. Like, yes, when you dig a hole, it does have that 2D aspect on the front, and then it also has that tube aspect.
Yeah.
But we just call it a hole. And then, you can describe the two ends of a straw as holes. So, like, a hole can be a lot of things. Like, a butthole can be used for making farts.
No, but a butthole is a tube because it goes to your mouth, to your
Well,
body.
but
Or a
Yours
tunnel.
well, inside of the butthole is the tunnel.
Exactly, inside the hole. And so inside the flat hole of the wall would be the tunnel.
Yeah, but we would still describe as punching a hole into the wall.
Yeah, I know.
Because of that 2D aspect of the hole.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We say things at face value, but we're not thinking about the literary definitions of it. And the whole point of this is the literary part of it.
But I'm saying that the literary definition can have multiple meanings.
yeah, that's
I-
the whole point of the conversation.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just saying. This is what I think.
Nothing's real. Everything's made up.
okay, if I punched a hole in the wall, couldn't the whole thing be a hole, and my fist entered the wall could just be the entrance to the hole instead of that part
I thought
right
holes
here
were
being
the
hole.
entrance. Because
Yeah,
I thought we were
I think that's
describing
what we're
tunnels with an
saying.
entrance.
I would
as a
say
hole.
the whole thing is a hole for
Okay,
us.
so if I looked at a cave and said, "What's that part right here? That 2D plane that going in is? That's just the entrance and exit."
Yeah.
And then the whole cave or tunnel is a hole. Like,
Well,
the whole thing is a
technically,
hole.
yes, the whole
No
thing
matter
can
what
be a
size,
hole.
it's just a hole.
Yeah.
What were we talking about again?
Caves and tunnels.
Oh yeah.
I just think that we're getting stuck on, like, if it's like we're saying like yes or no, but I think it's
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to
yes,
figure out the
and-
definition for how can we differentiate the two.
well by these words that we're using to describe the things.
So I want to come to a little bit of a conclusion.
But the conclusion is it's both.
Tunnels are man-made. Caves are natural. There you go.
Like you can punch a hole in the wall and you can be like, oh, it's a tunnel I went all the way through, but you can also describe it as a hole.
Because that's not something that we would think of as being continuous. If somebody punches a wall, you're not expecting there to, like, you don't really give a shit what's on the other side. You just see the wall.
And
With
the
a hole
hole
in
you
it.
made.
Yeah, you're worried about the hole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
not
hear
worried
that.
about, like,
I hear
oh,
that.
you've tunneled through the
I hear
insulation.
that, but when I'm going into a manhole, I'm immediately in the tunnel system of the sewers. I'm
Well,
not-
exactly. So, like,
The whole
if
thing's not-
if we're like Ant-Man, and you go into the fist I just put through the wall, it could be a whatever the fuck we deem.
So
it
we're
to
kind
be.
of
could be a
all
tunnel.
agreeing that it's all a matter of size, and perspective, and relativity.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that has
That's like the
a big-
baseline thing here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Solved.
Size,
Figured it out. Size matters.
Yeah, but I think we
but it also doesn't though, because a straw is a tunnel, and so is a fucking huge train system tunnel.
Straw could be a pipeline too. If you're an ant, it could be a pipeline.
Straw could be a pipeline.
Mm-hmm. Or I guess for us, if we're moving liquid into our mouths or shooting spitballs out,
It would be a pipeline.
it would be a pipeline.
Yeah.
Are your
be a-
nostrils holes?
Yes.
your nostril is technically a tunnel, but there's parts to it that are holes.
The holes are the entrances and the exits.
Well,
See,
yeah,
back at that again. That's what I'm saying. Like,
This-
the whole thing isn't a hole.
I would say this
has
part
holes.
that you can see,
Those are
because
holes.
I know, like, we know that it continues past your right here, but what we see is a hole. The tube is what's on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. We see
Oh, yeah.
the entrance and
Yeah,
exit,
so-
which is a hole.
Initially, the first.
That's all I'm vying for here. I think we keep saying that holes are entrance and exits, but then punching
I-
a hole in the wall wouldn't make sense.
I think it's just the first thing that you see.
Where does this
a
hole
hole-
go? Oh, it's a tunnel too.
It's a tunnel. Yeah, and then that's like the first step is it's a hole, then it's a tunnel or a cave, but starts with a hole.
Yeah, it's a cave if you just.
yeah.
Dig your way.
So
into
because
the
a wall isn't that thick, it's like a foot max. We're punching a hole, but we're perspective wise, like we know it's not a tunnel because we know what's on the other side.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
And that's-
you could stick your head in the hole and be like, "This is a cavern." Now that you're inside of the wall, because you're looking at it from a different perspective.
And if there's a leak, you could be like, "This is a grotto."
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it wouldn't be beautiful though.
Oh yeah, that's good. Well, that's perspective too. So.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. That's probably enough on that.
So
We don't want to rot our brains
That
before
was
we get
way
too
easier
far
last
in.
time, dude.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's because we were
Which is
fucking
shocking.
hungover. I feel like once you think about it too much, you
It's
fucking
just
can't
a
unthink about it.
spiral.
Yeah.
I feel like I second guess myself before I say something.
Do
So
you
I'll
guys
be
ha-
like, "Oh, I had this
Yeah.
idea of a hole," and be like, "Wait a minute."
Well, it's because as you're like
That's
saying
not
it,
true.
debunk parts of it as you
yeah, that's what I mean.
Can you guys think of any more words that might line up with that? This is what I got so far: caves, tunnels, tubes, holes, grottos, dens, and catacombs.
Cavern,
Passage,
Cavern,
Passageway. mine shaft.
hallway.
mine shaft,
Mine shaft.
hallway. Are hallways in schools tunnels?
Yep.
Yes.
Transporting kids.
Building tunnels.
Yeah.
Building his meat pipelines between classrooms. Meat pipelines. Yeah. A hose
Would be a pipeline.
Yeah.
would be a pipeline.
That's a pipeline.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it's not pipe.
Yeah, it's not pipe, so I wouldn't call it a pipeline.
That's not pipeline.
It's hose line
Yeah, I mean, a hose is kind of its own thing.
or air line.
Hose
if
is
it's
very
air.
unique.
Well,
Hose-
Water line if it's
Water line.
hydraulic.
But I mean,
or-
gas pipelines
gas
are water.
pipeline.
They're liquid though.
So it's kind of
a hose has to, I feel like, connect to something.
It absolutely does. If you just had a hose, it's still a hose, but
Yeah. But like its
Yeah.
defining characteristic is that it connects to something to be able to transport
Yeah.
something from one end to the other.
So what is it if it's not connected to a spigot?
Well, it's still a it.
It's
if
still
it-
just a hose. Like you wouldn't say it's a
Yeah.
long pipe.
Could be a pipe or a tunnel. If you're really
See, that's
small.
what I'm saying. We're like, what the hell?
I think it's just perspective.
we have to be an ant.
like
If we're an
Yeah.
ant, then a hose is a tunnel.
Because if there, let's say, like, there's a humongous hose, right, that we can walk through,
Yeah.
it would be a tunnel.
To us, yes, it
Yeah.
would be a tunnel.
So to an ant, a regular hose would be like a tunnel.
Okay.
But then, yeah, still by definition, as long as its purpose is to connect into something and transfer something to the next end, I think it's still a hose.
Mm.
But if it didn't have that aspect to it, then it's more like a tunnel.
What if it's connected
Like-
to a spigot and you're drinking out of it? Then is it a big straw?
I mean, how
I'd say
How-
so.
how hard are you sucking, Cully?
I mean, you got to turn the water on. Like, it's got to be pressured.
Yeah,
Jesus
I guess.
Christ.
Yeah,
Like,
hopefully. Yeah. You're just sucking it through.
Through the fittings and everything.
Oh, I can turn it on for you. Oh, okay.
Turn it off.
The house just starts squeezing in.
Yeah.
well,
Anyways.
I tapped out. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
My brain started rotting immediately.
That's okay. Well, how about we have something that
That's gonna be the last time I ever talk about that. 'Cause that's like that's probably the third time it's
it's
happened.
too much.
I did it with my dad. One
It's
time
just
and it
like
was
going in circles, dude. It
It's
like
a
actually fucking
paradox.
hurts.
It
It's like
never ends.
probably the. I can't think of like another example of like different definitions of things that like are so complex.
What's a crawl space then under a house?
Fuck.
Right? Like there's
a space that you can crawl in.
It's a, yeah, but is it a
It wouldn't
cavern
be
or a
gives me
cave?
anxiety.
It wouldn't be
Yeah.
any different than like a room. It's just small.
It's
You're crawling.
purpose.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's
Like-
just his purpose.
Yeah, like how a mine shaft could be also described as a tunnel, but since we use it for mining,
It
Mine
has
shaft.
a purpose. So it has it.
A hose.
What,
is a
what about like
tunnel.
the back rooms? Are those just?
Oh,
That's
dude,
that's
an
hell.
enigma.
I feel like we're in the back rooms right now.
We're never gonna get out.
fuck that.
Did you ever watch that video? I think I sent it to you. It's
Yeah, I
called-
didn't watch it because I
Dude,
used to have
so
those
much
dreams,
anxiety.
dude. It fucking. Yeah,
It's like
I've definitely fucking been
it's
there.
like a whole series
it's
on
scary.
YouTube called The Back Rooms.
Yeah.
You've seen that?
I think I've seen
Man,
bits
heard
of
of
it,
it.
probably.
And it's actually really cool
It
to
like
watch.
makes me very uneasy.
It is-
straight up.
I mean, if
it's
there's something
dark and
chasing you,
weird
then yeah. But if
and-
it's just endless, I just think it's like annoying.
No,
Yeah.
you should watch this series. It's really interesting.
I know,
It's
like I
a-
understand people get scared of backrooms because it's like, oh my god, there's shit there. But I'm just like, god damn it.
I think lore based there are entities that
fuck's sakes.
chase you through there.
I just sit down.
Watch the
fair.
series.
I'll be like, I quit.
It's cool.
Uh-huh.
It's like a POV. Like you're like a worker there, and
Mhm.
you like go through.
There's
the back rooms
Minecraft
and-
backrooms you can
Yeah,
download.
I've seen those.
There are like PC games that are just back rooms
Yeah.
Yeah.
too, and stuff. Those are fucking freaky.
Yeah, I'm good
God,
on
yeah, that
that.
scares me.
Anyway, let's move off
Yeah.
this topic.
Speaking of something scary, I wanted to bring this up. What's scarier, space or the ocean?
The ocean.
Space.
Space.
Definitely space.
Space.
The ocean, dude.
Okay, what's scarier, a blue whale or a black hole?
A blue whale. A black hole is way the fuck over there. I don't have to worry about that.
Not yet.
Well,
But if you
okay.
go swimming.
Base for like argument's sake, I feel like if you're in space or in the ocean, which is going to be scarier?
The ocean.
You're kidding
That's
me, dude.
crazy.
That's a
ocean.
joke.
Immediate
No.
death in space, no matter what. If you don't
Okay,
have your
well,
gear on.
Exactly.
Even
so
assuming-
so why are you afraid?
But
if-
what's so scary
it's-
about the ocean?
Even assuming you
There's
could
shit
survive in
below you.
space, dude, floating.
Yeah.
There's shit all around you in an infinite fucking sphere.
Yeah, but it's astronomically.
What if
far
you're at the
away.
bottom of the ocean, looking around? Are you less scared?
No, that's worse.
Wait,
Fuck
yeah,
that.
what the hell? That's
I don't know. You said below, so I was thinking if that had anything to do with it.
Where did I say below?
You said below you.
Yeah, there's stuff below you. Like
Okay,
if, you,
well, if you're at the
I'm
bottom
saying
and it's
if
all
you're
above
treading
you.
water in the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the ocean, there's no land, there's nothing around you can see. That is terrifying.
What if you can look because you have goggles on? What if you have a scuba diving fit and you can breathe and see?
That's worse.
You'd rather not. So are you more scared seeing or not seeing? Because you
Not-
just said it's scary not to be able to see what's below you.
Yeah, because there's some sort of like there's a haze due to the
So, but what if-
ocean
okay.
shit. But if you're in space, there's
maybe
nothing there to block.
I
Like,
think
you can see the fucking moon way over there, because there's not shit in space to block your vision of that.
So for you, it's about the vision.
Yeah,
or maybe
about
it's just
seeing.
like the expansiveness of space is just so fucking huge
That doesn't.
It's so
that you
infinite
can't
that
even
you-
be scared of
yeah, because
anything being around.
So it's creatures for you.
could be.
That's fair.
I get
like
that.
if you put me in orbit around Earth, I feel like being in open ocean would be scarier because there's
Yeah.
immediate threats.
That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like space as a whole
Is much
is
scarier.
infinitely scarier.
Yeah. Okay, you made a good point though. I do see if you would drop me right now in the middle of the ocean and it was like just a fucking really murky water and I was like, fuck.
yeah,
Like in the North Atlantic where there's sharks and shit.
yeah, that's horrifying.
Would you rather be a castaway in space or ocean?
Space.
ocean.
Surely
You'd
not.
rather be a castaway in
Yeah,
space
dude.
than the ocean?
No gravity. You could fucking do whatever.
You're in a spaceship orbiting Earth forever, or you're on a boat that can never reach land.
Yeah, I would rather be in space.
I think I'd rather be in space and
Yeah, I was gonna say in that
honestly.
situation, that's I'm spacing it.
No, either
there.
way, you can't. You're never gonna see anybody else.
Yeah,
ever.
but you
You're
have
just gonna be on the
more-
ocean, or
You have more control in that space scenario because you're in an RV in space.
you gotta make repairs on both, everything like that. You know.
That's fine. You have more to work with if you're saying you're in a space station, or if you were in like rafts or like a inflatable raft, survival raft. That's what I was going for. That's basically the same size as like a lunar.
like module.
Yeah, the module that comes back to
Yeah.
Earth
Mm.
and falls in the ocean, also terrifying. But
That
So
plays
if you were
fine.
in one of those,
Yeah, you could have both.
if you're in that capsule, if you're in the same, if you, okay, hold
You
on.
just get back from space. You're all fucking alone. You land in the middle of the
Yeah,
ocean.
and then
No one's
you're in the
around.
o-
Like,
you're alone
fuck.
again. God damn it.
I'm more scared of the ocean. Fuck.
I no,
Dude, that's
be like,
fucking an astronaut.
But if you have a shelter that is the same size on both in the middle of the ocean and in space, I would rather be in space.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
There's no like immediate threat in space to come
Mhm.
after you. Like you have all the living things in the ocean that'll fuck you up. Where in space,
Yeah.
like nothing is gonna happen.
But
yeah, you do have to worry about food, water, shelter, like basic survival needs.
Yeah.
But you also have to worry about exposure
Mm-hmm.
in the ocean. You have to worry about like you fucking go crazy because you just drink salt water.
Mm-hmm.
You're going nuts.
You're
It-
going crazy in both scenarios.
right. You're going
Yeah.
crazy in both scenarios. But in space, like you can't make the mistake of like drink salt water because it's fluid and you're like, my body needs
No, you can make a
fluids.
mistake of accidentally depressurizing your cabin.
Yeah, but then it's just over.
But if you're just
imploding.
up there, like, don't you think you would anyway? Like, you don't. Okay, let's say there's no chance of you making it back to Earth. You would just kill yourself anyway. Where if you're on Earth, castaway on the ocean, you don't know if you'll ever make it back. It's way hard to kill
you
yourself.
have to just wait to die.
Yeah.
essentially.
like you're starving to death.
yeah. Whereas if you're in a capsule up in the clouds, you can just like turn yourself into a bomb
Yeah.
and fucking go out with style.
Yeah, I think that's also the thing between the space and the ocean and that survival situation is if you're on like a raft or something, there is a way for you to recover. Like random materials will show up. You'll find the Pacific garbage pile that's like the size of Alaska. Like
Oh, yeah.
there's things that you can be able to kind of like repair and stuff.
That's technically not true.
I know, but it's fun to think
It
about.
is fun to think about.
What?
But
there like is no garbage patch because it's always constantly moving.
There's an eddy. It's the same size as the North Pacific Gyre.
The what?
The North Pacific Gyre. It's a rotating mass of water. It's what gives us our seasons and shit.
Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah. So it's technically
But there's not like a land mass of garbage
No.
the size of Alaska.
and
That's what I'm saying.
a lot of it's small plastics and a lot of it's just under the water.
Microplastics.
So and just small, but it is a patch. A lot of it is kind of connected, but it's connected via the circulation. Some of it is forming huge patches, but a lot of it's just formed because of the circulation in the North Pacific Gyre. But because of that circulation, it's always going to be together, and eventually it will amalgamate one day. And yeah,
the new Pangea.
exactly.
Just pluck it out.
And because
I
we
hope so.
can't, like I said, a lot of it's just below the water. It's not all floating right on the surface,
Mhm.
and it's storms and shit. So you can't just see a big patch, but there is. It's just under the water a little bit,
Mm.
like that.
Gross.
Yeah,
okay,
different water columns.
Anyway, back to it.
Anyway.
I want to add something to this survival scenario because we were talking about you were in both of these situations you could not be saved.
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, you could in both these situations.
Okay.
Like you were just dropped out in the middle of the ocean with a small raft, and you're waiting for like the currents or something to come by to get you.
that freaks me
Or
out.
in space, you get sent up like to the moon or something, or orbiting, and something kind of went awry, and now you're like without propulsion or something. There is a way for people to get to you in some way, shape, or form and save you. You just don't know how long. So I feel like when you take out the like, oh, you're gonna die no matter what in this situation.
If there's chance of survival, what do you rather
Yeah, and
want to be in?
Space. Because then you could have.
God, I don't know, dude.
Get it.
Well, okay.
What?
Yeah,
Because
Okay,
if you're in
dude,
if you're in the
space.
ocean and you have the option.
You do know what we're talking about, right?
Yes, I do know what we're talking about. If you are in the ocean in a raft and you have the possibility of being saved, you will have no way to communicate that with some dude's not just like, oh yeah, I'll come get you.
No,
in
don't worry
like
about that. Just think
a
about
week.
the
But
elemental.
that's what I'm saying.
like,
In
you're
space,
or in the
if you are sent up there, hopefully you have communication, or
no, there's
you
no
know,
communication. How about no
okay,
communication
no
with either? But
communication?
you know someone's coming at some point in the next like year.
then you would have a timeline
But you're alone for that year. Where do you want to be?
in space.
What? That's
I-
mind blowing.
Well, I mean,
In space.
okay, people would know
Mysterious-
the trajectory you're taking in space,
Yeah.
right? So they could pinpoint it. But let's say we're flying over the ocean, like Castaway, and our plane goes down. They could have a rough estimate of where you'll be as well.
But like
So
I said, in that scenario,
I feel like
you know within a year, like just for fuck.
Oh,
like, you know
how
what I mean?
about non-survival period? Which is scarier, space in all its expansiveness or the ocean?
That's what I kind of want to get at. Like
Yeah.
what?
Like
is-
non-survival
as a
at all.
concept
Like
is
what?
scarier?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I feel like space is scarier with the expansiveness, just because there's so like there's all this space, but there's so many things about that space as well.
Dude, we don't understand so much shit. There could be like fucking aliens like that are made out of argon that are floating around and like go inside of you and like control you. Have you seen The Astronaut's Wife? It's a terrifying movie.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, isn't that one M. Sandler?
No,
Oh.
no, Johnny Depp.
Okay.
So-
Or fucking like Prometheus.
yeah, we have in the ocean. We've mapped like 5 to 7% of the ocean
Yeah, 5 to 7%.
but a lot of it is a desert. We know that it's just desert, and there's a
nothing
lot of
there. Yeah,
yeah,
I get
and there's
that.
a lot of animals and shit.
But they're closer to you, so the threat is closer. If you're
I-
in space,
you have
I
no
agree
idea
with
where the
that.
shit is in space. I mean, I don't know. Like
there's nothing there though.
I feel like the scary part about space is just like
the ocean's also
like it's so big that it's like uneasy. Like you don't. It's just constant.
okay. Here's a question. If you were but I'm gonna make both these scenarios dark. If you're out in the middle of the ocean on a small raft and you hear like a weird thing in the distance, or if you're in space floating around and you hear like just like I don't know, just for example, like two weird noises. Are you more scared in space or are you more scared on the water? Like what do you of the concept of like all the possibilities of what that could be and what that means for you?
The ocean.
I don't get it.
Space.
You're more scared of like that could be a whale or a shark. You, like at least you have like ideas of like
Yeah,
what
that
could
shit
be.
freaks me out.
But in space, if you heard like
Right, you
like,
have no
dude,
concept of
exactly
what
like
it could
what
be.
the fuck.
So
dude?
that
And
then you have nothing to be afraid of. Like if you're
You
in
have
the
everything to be
you
afraid
have
of.
no idea
no,
what
no,
it
no,
could
no.
be
Because you're in the ocean, you're like, oh, that could be this, that could be this, that could be this. If you're in space, you're like, that could be literally anything.
My imagination would
Yeah,
fuck me,
I'd get
dude.
fucked.
Like,
And then
I'd get fucked.
Not to mention also the direness of it, because that one noise, if it penetrates anything within the spaceship, boom,
And
you're dead.
in the ocean, you're like, okay, I expect to hear sounds. There's animals. In space, you're like,
I shouldn't
I
hear
shouldn't hear a
anything.
fucking thing, and I just heard that. I feel like you're just like holding on
I'm
to
not.
this right now.
I'm not doing that. Like
What if-
the ocean freaks me the fuck
Okay,
out. Dude.
all right.
I mean,
you hear things. You're on a raft. You hear things swimming around you, or you're in your space capsule
Fuck.
and hear
You're just, like,
things
tapping.
crawling on your ship.
Oh.
Yeah, way more scared of space. Ocean, okay, sharks, manta rays, mermaid things.
well,
No,
Potentially.
Mermaid.
I don't know. You know?
they're called manatees.
Here's the thing that I don't get though is Cully, you started us off by like you're afraid of the unknown, the things that you don't fully understand. You know there's something in the ocean, but you don't really know exactly
You
what
can come
it
to
is.
the dark
that
side,
Murphy
Cully.
does.
It's okay.
I'm putting my
Space.
foot down. Space is so vast. It's so fucking big. You can't think about it. Like you can't quantify it. But the ocean is like, it's there. It's tangible. It's
But it's
quantifiable.
still expansive. It's still great. We've only mapped 6 or 7% of it. And in space, what if it's not this solar system? What if you're in a different solar system? What if you're that manhole that they had the nuclear bomb test and it's going it's like the second fastest thing in the entire universe.
If they send me to another galaxy, fucking anything goes, dude.
Like that's the thing, like there's galaxies that are like so gaseous that you actually aren't able to see like a couple miles in front of you, which it would be like the ocean. You can't see like 30 feet deep below.
Then that part of space is a nightmare.
And so that's
But I'm
like
talking
that's
about-
it. Space like that is in so many different places of space that we can't even observe. And like, you know, what have we been saying about like aliens and stuff? Like, you know, there's the Fermi paradox. I pulled it up.
The
It's
Fermi paradox.
Fermi
What's
paradox. It's
Yeah.
like different ways that we describe why aliens have or have not communicated with us. And here's the 4 bullet points. Aliens never came here because of a physical difficulty that makes space travel infeasible, which could be related to astronomy, biology, or engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Or aliens simply chose never to visit us. Or advanced civilizations beyond Earth arose too recently for aliens to reach us. Or aliens have visited Earth in the past, but we have not observed them.
I think they came here and were like, Jesus Christ, these guys are idiots.
Here, check this out.
Let them
Spaceship.
ferment.
Giant rogue black holes.
What
Giant
happens?
rogue black holes can consume entire galaxies and even bend space-time around them. They can move at 3 million miles per hour. There is one that is about 1 billion times heavier than our sun, moving pretty close to us.
Okay, if you were to fall into that, you
2 billion light
realistically, you would not know anything.
You
Or
have
you
no
just
idea.
wouldn't
You have-
exist.
you
You
have
wouldn't
no idea.
exist.
You
I'm
have
with
no
Cully
idea.
on this one. I feel like
You wouldn't
like
exist.
it was just immediate. Like I would rather go into a black hole than be eaten by a fucking shark.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know.
the black hole is instant death.
I might have seen too many space movies. I don't know, man.
Instant death.
Well, yeah, I mean, the black hole would be instant death, but I mean, I don't know. That's
But
like,
your
that's
mind would bend as you got close to it.
Like, I don't know. That's like
know.
2 different situations. It'd be more closer related to like the submarine that blew
yeah.
up lately. Like, you know, just the pressure of the ocean got to you and squeezed you to
Oh
death.
yeah, it was like
Like those are the same things. What you guys are
Instant death.
describing is more like what we were talking about earlier. Like you're just in your ship, all of a sudden you hear a noise, and then like this big space creature comes out and just like chomps.
Well, in
through.
terms of creatures, okay.
okay, but there's no creatures. in
Okay, well, just think
space.
about like the concepts
how
now,
do
like
you
what Ian was
know?
saying. Like when you think about it, this is called the Great Attractor. 150 million light years away from our galaxy lies a space anomaly called the Great Attractor, with a gravitational pull so powerful that it pulls entire galaxy towards itself and collapses them into each other. We don't know what it is or how it is around. We don't know how it physically is around, but it has enough mass around it to account for pulling entire. It can like suck a galaxy in and crush it, and it's not a black hole.
Damn.
We don't know what the fuck it is. It just exists out there.
Yeah, and you could just be, you know, on your little space dinghy, just do having a fun time. Hey, mission control, where'd you go? Wait, why are the stars moving like that? And you just start like rotating a bit, and
The
start
stars
getting
just
faster and faster.
Yeah, exactly, and they
Like-
accelerate because it's gravity. Our galaxy will be consumed by this
known object.
unknown object. It will be in a few billion years.
or has it already? We're on the other side.
It's yeah. It's only 150 million light years is not a ton of time in
Like
space. So
like, I don't know. That's the
we're
thing.
gonna hit it in that much
I'll
time.
be dead. I don't care.
For sure. But like, our galaxy's getting sucked towards us right now. That's
Yeah.
where we're going.
Sweet.
That's so terrifying to think about. It's crazy.
sweet.
Okay, so
Like,
it's, you don't,
what can
but
you
the
do?
concept,
You can't
dude.
do anything about that.
No,
though.
obviously, I'm not talking about your survival. I'm talking about as a thought. Like, how fucking crazy is that? How terrifying is that?
It's
that's
not
so-
not at all.
Like that's so scary.
That's
that-
terrifying,
not at all.
dude.
All of
They
a
don't even know
sudden-
what it is. It's just a giant gravitational pull
Yeah.
that destroys galaxies.
It's so big and so astronomical that it's not anything that
Of any
But
threat.
you don't
it's not
find
of any
that
threat because it
absolutely,
doesn't
like,
make any sense.
I find that like primordially like terrifying. Like that is such a scary concept.
Yeah, like all of a sudden,
Okay.
everything could just end.
I feel like if
Yeah.
we weren't in this room talking right now, if we were like out on top of a mountain and there was just stars all around us, that would make you more scared. I think
Not at all.
What?
Not at all.
I
would
don't
not.
necessarily find that scary either.
I find that like
It's
I
not
find
scary.
it interesting.
Like-
and I'm not scared like, oh my god, I'm
well,
gonna
no,
die.
like it's more like crazy than like scary.
I guess
Like,
for me like
a fun fact.
it's a
Yeah.
terrifying, like there are forces out there that we can't explain that can
Right.
do that,
right.
and that is terrifying.
maybe the
As a
ocean's
concept.
probably scarier because it's more relative in our neighborhood.
Yeah, and it's
That's what
like
we're trying to do.
I could
Like, I'm
go
trying to
to
get
the
you out of the-
ocean right now and like find some scary fucking
Yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to run
Because
into
you can
like a
see
fucking
it,
eel or
but
some
I'm just
shit.
trying to get you out of
But
like
the entirety, like if I had all the knowledge of what's in the ocean and all the knowledge of space is infinitely
Yeah. It's crazy.
scarier.
Exactly.
Like knowing, like there's probably fucking goblins
Just
in
think about
space.
the,
dude.
like the
Space goblins.
concept of it is just like
Okay.
it's like thinking about death. Like how it's such a weird idea. Like that sucks. That exists.
Yeah, it sucks, but
it's like a fucking
not,
Death Eater out in space.
But there's nothing you can do about it.
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm not terrified for my life. I think you're thinking of like just like
Oh,
I'm scared for my life.
actually, which
Which is
was it?
fair because that's what scared means
That's
a lot
what, yeah,
of the time.
well, that's what
but
we
like
were talking
I
about.
guess just like scary as like you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
there's
well, I
a-
don't know. I like. Oh, you want to go ahead, Ian?
No, you got it.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know, Cully. This whole thing is like, oh, you can't do anything about it. Like, that's not. They didn't worry about it. If you're in the middle of the ocean, what can you do? Like, if there's like not many ways to communicate with people, and you know, you could just get eaten by a random shark out there. What can you do? That's still terrifying. That still scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Well, no. You're right. That's not
Like-
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is shit that could just fucking eat you in a life raft in the middle of the ocean. You could get struck by lightning. A huge wave could come and splash you out, and then you're fucked. You drown. Like that could happen. But in space, you don't know if that stuff happens at all. You could just be
I mean,
floating endlessly.
Dude, okay. Here's something that's kind of freaking
So
scary.
that's why I'm saying like space is less of an immediate threat.
Okay, here's something that's scary. This is actually really cool. Extended space travel can change your DNA. So Scott Kelly had a twin on Earth. He was in space for a year on the ISS. When he came back, he was 2 inches taller than his twin. They did studies on him and found that he had different gut bacteria, and his DNA
interesting.
changed from
Well,
his twin.
I can imagine that he would be taller because he doesn't have gravity.
No, not that.
squishing
His
him.
DNA changed.
Well, no, I heard you say.
Well, that's not what I'm
Just-
saying. I'm not saying anything about gravity. His DNA literally changed. He was not a twin to his brother anymore. He didn't get taller because of lack of gravity. He got taller because his DNA changed, and his gut bacteria completely changed too.
Does it say that he got taller because his DNA changed?
Because I think gravity
that's
does
like-
have a
I
little.
think that does
that's
too,
gotta
but
be
it
lack
said-
of gravity.
But the fact that it's saying here is like it's caused his cells to essentially rewrite his genetic code, being in space for so long.
yeah. And
Which
I don't know.
probably has to do with
But they are
Gravity.
permanent DNA changes. I'm talking about DNA, not gravity.
no,
Like-
I know, but
They are
that's-
technically no longer identical twins.
I don't know. It with space.
The fuck?
Going back to like what you said before, like space still has immediate threats when you're in space. Like
yeah, suffocation.
What about
But,
time
like-
dilation?
solar
we'll
flares.
We'll get to that.
What about being in space and knowing that literally everything is just on
A
Earth?
dot, a little
Everything,
dot.
and there's fucking nothing.
That's terrifying.
that
That to
by
me,
my, if I were out there, like I think it was William Shatner was in space, and that's what he was talking about. He's like looking at Earth and knowing everything that's ever happened or will ever happen that we know of is on this
that's
little
what Carl
fucking
Sagan
dot.
said too. He said,
Is that's fucking scary.
he said
I think
pale
like
blue dot.
just the concept of me being on Earth and you looking at this little blue dot. It's I don't know. It's Earth, everything, just
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
so
he was-
should I become like an astronaut? Because like I'm not freaked out at all.
Well, I mean, how
I-
about this? How about the astronauts that are currently stuck on the ISS for up to 5 months?
Okay, look at this. See this?
They better have a fucking
that too.
job.
See this? That little dot is Earth.
Okay. All right.
I just can't.
I just
Carl Sagan wrote a freaking. I'll send this to you, Cully. Fucking.
I don't think
it's
gonna change.
not gonna change
No,
my
it's
mind.
terrifying.
Like,
it's not gonna change my mind.
I can't.
It's
I
just
guarantee.
It's
I
fascinating.
I don't get it. Like they're like
The ocean, you can. Okay, we know exactly how much tonnage there is in the ocean. We can estimate how much desert there is, what kind of like animals there are. Oh, we found a new one because it's fucking deep. But like,
Creepy. keep going.
I
I'm
can't-
listening.
I can't.
Well, I
I
mean,
just can't, like, it's-
his big thing
can't
is
convince
the
him.
immediate threat,
Exactly.
which
Yeah,
it makes
immediate
sense.
threat.
But as a
I'm-
concept of fear and like terror,
Yeah, like space has space has so much more ability to do all this damage. I mean,
the Earth could disappear.
Yes, I do know that.
We don't know why. It just could. The black hole could form from the Hadron Collider in Switzerland. I mean,
All
whatever.
reality
It'd be
could
a
cease
long
to
time,
exist
but
in a millisecond. It can.
we could be on a dimension where some other super celestial beings are like, prune them.
prune them. Why are we prune?
Okay, death via space is definitely better than ocean.
I
though.
agree
Yeah.
as death. Sure.
yeah,
But like,
well, we
the,
don't fucking know because space is insane.
the scariness of space, I think, is
But
scarier than the
radiation is
ocean.
also a very real cause of death in space.
yeah,
And
like-
that is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, we got that shit.
Horrible.
On Earth too.
Okay, but what if like one day all of a sudden like something were to happen and we released a ton of gases that just removed the atmosphere?
Yeah.
All of a sudden
That's-
we're getting hit by full on sun radiation. I mean, people
Gamma
are
rays.
literally melting and mutating in front of us.
Yeah, we're not in space though.
But we are in space.
We
That's
are
the
in
point.
space.
We are in space. We just have a little atmosphere to protect you.
No, I know, but from your point
Like
of
that-
view, you are on Earth.
But I am being attacked from space. That's your whole thing. Like when you're on the raft on the ocean, or heck, you could even be on the beach, like you're back to the ocean. All of a sudden, this sick whale comes on and beaches you, or like, you know, gets beached onto you. Bam, you're dead. Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
a threat from the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I just don't-
I don't think he's ever going to change. And
Why is
I
there
think it's
animals
just-
that's that big? Why are they there?
because the ocean's so big.
I
Gotta
think
fill
it's
it
just
a little.
immediate threat versus
Yeah.
scary.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, the ocean has more immediate threats because we're like, we could go down there right now.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying.
All right. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Like
this-
maybe that's the difference is being able
Yeah.
to go to the ocean. You have the choice, but I
Mm.
don't know. For me,
we can
I don't
go and we
have
can
the choice
experience
of
that.
space.
Yeah. We are in it.
The space could just happen.
We're in it.
Like meteor world
Solar
like,
flare eats our atmosphere tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's not terrifying.
No.
That's
what
immediate
What the
threat.
fuck are we gonna do about it?
What are we gonna do about a shark? What's the point? Like, what's the difference? You're saying, what are we gonna do about a solar flare? What are we gonna do about
Well,
what if a
because
shark
that's-
comes up and eats your head?
that's-
you
alright.
also you're not gonna be able to fight a shark, bro.
If there's a solar flare or some sort of celestial happening, like you're gone. You just don't exist.
I mean,
a-
not always. Solar flare.
Yeah.
We could
Or
see
it's-
a solar flare is going to happen. We even have
We
like
could get a
reports that
tenfold
you
in
can
gamma ray radiation.
like we can
Or
tell.
space parasites just
Yeah. Who knows?
Sick, dude.
What if a
Don't be
meteor comes
fucking
down
mutant.
and they find this fucking like predator-looking motherfucker coming out, like a bunch of little babies just crawling around?
Yautja actually are
Or not predator,
they're
alien, the little
incredible-
weird freaky
alien.
boys.
That's a xenomorph. They're
Yeah.
incredibly smart.
That's more terrifying than a shark.
But that's not space.
Yes, it is.
That's something in space.
but,
Okay, but you're
shark
talking about
isn't
shark is
water.
the ocean.
shark is
Shark
in the
is
ocean.
ocean.
I think you're trying to hold on to this.
I'm not trying.
All right.
It's just the way I
can't.
fucking oceans. Ocean freaks me out.
That's fair.
The ocean scares me.
Hey, you want to go swimming tomorrow?
Not at all.
In the dark at Lake Welcome?
In the lake, sure. There's nothing in a lake that can hurt you.
There's bass.
What are they
It's a
going to
pretty
do?
big
Lick your
bass.
pee-pee?
That's a really deep lake. It's like 300 feet deep.
Yeah.
So the water doesn't like that because I went swimming with somebody one time and they were like, I jumped off the dock at night and they were like, oh no, and I was like, why?
But
And they're like,
is that into the lake though?
yeah, but they're like, I know
Well, that
what's
doesn't
in
mean
there,
anything.
but it's just a scary feeling
Yes.
because that's how
it's
I
an
feel about
uneasy
space.
feeling.
I'm like, that's a scary feeling.
Yeah.
So the dark water isn't what's scary to you; it's what's in there.
Yes.
So space isn't scary to you; it's about what could be up there. But because you don't know what is up there, you don't even.
We
think
have no
about it.
concept of what could possibly be up there.
What if we don't have any concept of what could be in the water? Does that make it less scary?
Well, yeah, because we have some sort of idea what's in
so
the water.
having an idea makes it more scary.
Yes. Because I would know what I'm being eaten by. That's freaky.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think letting my imagination run wild of what could be out in
The lack of
Yeah.
knowing is what's
Well,
more scary to me. Not
Once
the
Yeah.
I
knowing.
watched
You are the com-
Interstellar high as fuck, dude,
Yeah.
it's just immediate switch
because
in
we're
my
thinking
brain.
completely opposite. The fact that you have an idea makes it more scary.
Yes.
That's interesting to
Because
me,
there's
the
things,
lack of idea. I'm
because
like,
well,
no.
then there's things to be afraid of. If you have no idea what's out in space and you have no concept and like no grasp of what's out there, then I guess it's just me. Like I can't think of something. If I was in space, I wouldn't be like, there's an alien that happens to look like a xenomorph out here in space somewhere, and that's terrifying. That can't exist. So I have nothing to be afraid of.
Do
in
you
space.
think that encounter with something in the ocean would be scarier than an encounter with something in space?
I
Like
think
you're seeing, let's say, like, what's the scariest thing in the ocean for you? Like a shark?
Oh, I don't know. It's just like fear of the
Okay.
Wait,
unseen.
don't say of the unknown because you just said space
But
is not
there's
scary because it's
nothing
unknown.
in space. There's
Yes,
no.
there is.
There are no creatures in space.
We have no
we
idea.
have no idea.
That's the point. We don't know.
I'm okay. I'm saying in my scenario, there's a hair on me. Because like you are plopped into one of the oceans here. Okay, that's that. But
Mhm.
in space, I'm up in orbit. I'm able to look at Earth. I'm between the Earth and the Moon. That's where I am in this scenario.
Think further out. Think about space, not here. Think about how.
How do
yeah,
you
because you're only thinking of our solar system. Like you're
think
keeping
outside
yourself,
the solar system?
Think about this. There's
Well, I don't fucking know anything outside the solar
okay.
system.
So we got the solar system. Within our galaxy, we are on the very. Think about the disk, right? It's a flat disk. We are on the very, very
yeah, the very very edge
left
of it.
third of one of those disks.
Yeah.
We are like a tiny dot. The whole solar system, which would take billions of years to get to the center of the
I think that's
galaxy.
cool as fuck.
There are billions and billions and billions of these galaxies. That thing I talked about eats the galaxies. It sucks them in. A whole
Uh-huh.
galaxy. There's a galaxy next to us called the Andromeda.
Yep.
One day we're going to collide with that. At the center of every galaxy,
It better
there is a
move.
supermassive black hole that has so much gravity that it holds itself together, and all these disks spin around it. Every
Sick,
galaxy
dude.
has a black hole,
That's rad.
billions of times the size of our sun.
That's all a concept.
That's
though.
not. That's real.
I understand that literally is real, but like
Within
you can't.
our known universe,
We can go out to the
there
ocean
are-
right now and find a dangerous animal and be like, "That's something to be afraid of," and I'll be like, "Yes, it is." We can't go to space and find something to be
Even the
afraid
sun.
of.
The sun
We've-
is something to be afraid of. You get burnt here at home. Imagine if you go out in space. If
Cully,
you don't
we-
have your suit on, you get burnt and killed immediately.
every single thing that we've talked about, minus like the alien
It's gonna
stuff,
kill you immediately.
is gonna kill you or hurt you or do something really terrible.
I'd
to
still
you.
rather be in space.
Okay, next topic. I gotta applaud you on how well you held that together.
I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's just ridiculous.
I've just
Yeah.
never been a scared of the ocean
No.
type guy.
I mean,
I'm not okay. I wouldn't even say I'm necessarily scared of space, but I wouldn't go up there.
Well,
surely not.
This is
I-
probably stemming from I did have when I was really, really, really small. I walked off of a pier.
Pierre.
Le Pierre. I walked off of a pier. God damn, that word's weird.
Pyre?
Straight face first into water, and I went under, and I was like, it.
Oh.
Wait, I
So
have
this is all from
I have a
trauma.
good one.
Stemming
This is
from-
all from a
Yeah.
trauma.
I have a
It's
good one.
illogical because it's a trauma.
Yeah, it's
would
all
you-
trauma. But I haven't fucking fallen into space on accident. So I'm like, I don't know.
I've
what
gotten
that's
really
like.
high and looked at the stars. That's kind of similar.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not fun. No.
Is the ocean scarier or the woods?
The ocean.
The woods.
The woods.
The woods
The
are
ocean.
oh no, the woods are so much scarier, dude.
No.
Well, no, there's
Not at
way
all.
way more threats
I think
to be in the ocean, but the woods are scary as fuck.
As a real threat, it depends. What I mean, if you go to the woods here, you're not gonna find a
fine.
barracuda probably, but they might be seeing you. The ocean here in the Puget Sound is chilling. If you're dropping me in the North Pacific or deep in the Colorado Rockies, and I'm just hearing noises in both.
I'd rather be in the woods, but like the woods at night by yourself when you just have a flashlight, dude. I just like,
Having been within 3 feet of both
You wanted to
sharks
say something.
and bears,
Fuck sharks, dude.
I've been next to both. A grizzly bear too. I was
Yeah,
in
bears
a
are
tent,
fuzzy.
and I was with somebody and heard this, and we were in Montana by ourselves.
Did you hear him go?
Yeah. And this person I was with from Alaska, and they were like, "That's a grizzly."
Cool.
It's like, oh my god. And I was like, I just accepted my mauling. I really did. when I was in Hawaii, I didn't. The sharks were sleeping, but they were like ravenous. You know what I mean?
They were in bed.
But they were under a rock, and I like stumbled on one. And I was like, "Whoa, that's a sleeping reef shark." And I have buddies who have swam with tiger sharks and stuff, but bear is way scarier, hands down. Way
Okay,
scarier.
but this is an argument about bear versus shark.
A grizzly
It's
bear
woods
or
versus
a
ocean.
bear?
It was-
Because
that
like
was a grizzly
black
bear.
bear.
Black bears are
I can't
dumb.
really make an argument on that. The black
I
bear
saw-
is like in Colorado.
Yeah.
You can just like throw a fucking soccer
No,
ball
yeah,
at them.
the
They'll
ones-
dip,
you
but
can be like, hey, go away.
I just saw a
But when
few
you're
too,
out in
they're
the
chill.
bush, like backpacking in Colorado, and you see one, it's pretty fucking scary, dude.
Plus,
But I've also not ran into fucking sharks.
yeah, ghost stories too. Like
That
that shit
freaks me
fucks my
out.
head up, and the woods are mostly where those are, like Blair
Yeah.
Witch.
Yeah, actually, or like Slenderman.
And there are like ocean horror movies too.
The Kraken. That's down there. Maybe.
What's that one?
We don't know.
What's that one caving movie where they go down spelunking and there's the abyss?
No,
No,
Is it the
that's
Abyss?
I
another
can't do that.
The abyss is
that's-
the ocean one.
I think that's my
yeah,
number
I think you're
one
talking
fear.
about it's like the cave or something.
No, it's like
Where they go scuba diving down and into
In a
a cave.
it might be.
God,
I thought
no,
it had
that's
better-
I
terrifying.
can
And
not
there's
do
like
that
creatures
shit,
that
dude.
crawl around in the
Yeah.
cave. Yeah,
No.
I think that's just the cave.
Okay. The abyss is terrifying. That's like deep ocean stuff too. But
Yeah, but the
I think
aliens
it's all
are nice.
it's all fucking scary.
it is.
Any
I think the
threat
woods is
to my
terrifying.
life is fucking scary, whether it's in the
Mhm.
woods or space.
But if I was
or
like in the woods and I heard
ocean.
like some freaky fucking noises and like some like
Or if you just heard like
yeah, dude, I was camping a night in Canada, and this is so I was sitting at the campsite and it was dark, and I heard this, and I was like, what the fucking fuck?
Bird.
What the fucking fuck is that?
Immediate thought is bird.
See, I didn't know that wood grouse made that
Oh,
noise.
yeah.
It was
Oh.
thumping a stump, getting the bugs out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And so I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck is that? And it's nighttime, just sitting around a fire. And you know when you're around a fire, you can't see past 4 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck. And yeah, I didn't
Okay.
die, but fucking, I was so scared all night.
What were you gonna say a while ago, Josh?
Oh man, it's so far ago. I was just gonna make the note that you guys kind of like flipped the script of your stuff. Like, you know more about the the forest, and yet it's scarier than the ocean. Yet you're more afraid of space with the more unknown.
That's true.
As a concept, space is scarier than the woods or the ocean still.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying, like you flipped the script, just kind of like.
Haha.
It's just immediate threat.
Well, you
Like-
said ocean or woods, which are both, we
Yeah.
know what's in both. So between those two, I just chose one.
I'm just saying, like you flipped the script on like the two things. Like
I'm still more scared of the unknown. I know both the ocean and the woods. So I chose one that's more scary.
yeah, but you know more about the woods.
No, I did marine biology.
Yeah.
I know less about the woods.
Name 3 fish.
Hawaiian triggerfish.
Not
No, no.
non-Hawaiian. Non-Hawaiian, non
Name 3. Are you kidding me?
And
Good old-
their
a good old
first,
puffer fish.
first and
European.
last name.
Like scientific names?
No, like do you know Filbert?
Jim Bucker.
Oh my God.
Jim Bucker.
No, I actually do. I know more about the ocean, and I've spent more time in the woods, which is still saying something. So I didn't know what that noise was, which was a common wood grouse. So no, I don't know more than the woods.
Doesn't sound so common now, does it?
Yeah.
All right. I think we need to keep moving on. Get this.
yeah.
moving.
That's a good topic. Though.
Jesus.
Next one.
Yeah. Chloe, let me yell at you more. What you got?
yeah, you guys. All right. This is my topic, but I hope I'm not taking a crazy stance on this. I think. Well, the topics are teleportation and time travel. I think they're basically the same.
Whoa. What do you mean?
So, teleportation. For example, if I was able to teleport, I could be in this chair and instantly appear next to Josh, right? If I was to time travel, I could travel to a place in time where I appear instantly next to Josh. So to you guys, you could perceive that as me instantly teleporting over there. Or if I had the ability to stop time, I could pause time, get up, walk over there, start time again. For me, I would have to move, but for you guys, that would be an instant change. Therefore, it would be perceived as teleportation. So I think they're the same thing.
In outside relativity. But to the first person relativity, if you were to teleport to Paris, you'd be there. If you
Yeah, I
were
would
to
just
stop
be there.
time and then take a while to get to Paris and then restart time, your relativity would be way different.
But if I had a time machine where I go into a box and I sit there and I set a time like 1 minute from now in Paris.
Okay, well, you just said in Paris, which is teleportation.
I agree with Coley.
Thank you.
So I think, yeah, relatively to the people watching, the observer.
Yeah, to the observer, it's
Yeah, I agree.
teleportation.
To the observer, it totally is.
Because if I teleported from here to a light year away and back, my time relativity would be way different than what you guys experienced.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's teleporting, but it's also like time travel.
I think, yeah, like I was saying, to the observer, they're the same, but to to the person, they're not. So that's different.
Yeah, they could
Yeah.
not be. Maybe. I don't know. I've never done either, so.
Huh.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting to like. I guess the argument would be, God, this was an easy one, wasn't it? We're like, well, figure that out.
Well, I guess then it also like begs the question, like with time travel, you know, you're in this box. The box also gets to change its position.
So is the box teleporting?
Yeah.
Something is teleporting if you're changing place.
So
Yeah.
you can't
Always.
time travel without teleportation, is what you're saying.
You can time travel to the same exact spot without
Yeah.
teleportation.
So like how like cartoons do it and stuff is they'll teleport back to like the dinosaur age, and it's like this is where your house would be, but now dinosaurs.
But that's still them teleporting to that place in time.
Aren't they like they're like the same exact thing? You need both of them to have.
You
one.
don't. You don't
One,
need
you have
to.
to have both to have the other.
No, you
like,
don't.
well,
don't need
you're
teleportation to
time
time travel.
traveling, but like if I time travel a million years in the past, it is like kind of like teleporting from here to then. I feel like
You're still moving your mass
Yeah.
to that place.
If
in
that's what
time.
your definition of teleportation is, like you
I-
moving your mass to somewhere else, then yeah, it's the same thing.
Well, that's
without.
I feel like
Well,
that would be.
see what the definition is here.
But if it's through time, that's time travel. But if you're not moving to a new place, I would just consider that time travel.
One of the definitions I found of teleportation is the hypothetical process of moving matter or energy from one place to another without crossing the physical space between them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So teleportation is just moving
Just-
from one spot to another.
Yep.
Instantaneously.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
So
You were existing in one point, and then
so
in no amount of time at all, you're existing in another.
So if you're existing one point and then not a second later you're in Paris, that's
Yeah.
time travel as well.
but your body had to move there, so that's teleportation.
But that just said instantaneous.
Well, this
Well,
said instantaneous.
Isn't
but-
the only difference is like time travel, you're teleporting from this time to this time, where teleportation, you're just teleporting from this spot to this spot.
Mm-hmm. But if it's
But it's-
instantaneous and you didn't lose any time,
But you can do that with time travel.
Did it say instantaneous?
No, it didn't.
I thought you just said
Teleportation is the hypothetical process of moving matter or energy from one place to another without crossing the physical space between them.
Yeah. So
I thought you
it-
said instantaneous.
You took it as instantaneous, and so that's one thing. It's like
It's often depicted as instantaneous.
yeah, which is where I think Chloe's getting at is they're the same. You're saying they're the same thing,
They're
right?
basically the same thing, yeah. Because I could say, what time is it right now? It's not 5:35. That's a
7:40.
screenshot. It's like 5:30.
You're like,
Jesus.
that's crazy.
Chloe is time
I
traveling.
did. I went back in time. That's all it takes, a screenshot. So it's 7:40 right now. If I was to teleport to Paris, that would be me existing here and then instantly existing in Paris. But if I was to time travel, I could time travel from this spot at 7:40 to the spot in Paris at 7:40. Therefore,
I mean, that's the same thing as the observer. The observer effect is in parallel with the result. So if your result is the same, the observer would see the same result.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're hand in hand.
I agree.
Well-
That's what we said before too. But you
Okay.
would not experience that same. You would not experience it in the same way just because you got to the same
Most
place.
likely not. Although if your time travel was like in a machine and you had to punch in a code, or you like had a watch you could stop time and then you had to travel there, then that would be different. It would be instantaneous for you guys, like you're saying, but it would be different for.
But they do go hand in hand.
That-
Like if
I feel like the way that you're describing it, though, that is just time travel with teleportation. I
It's
don't
time
think
travel
it's,
with extra steps.
No, I feel like time, like if we were to define time travel, that's just if you were able to take yourself in this immediate moment and put yourself into a different time, and there can be different ways of.
let's just assume we have the ability just to snap and do one or the other. Like I can snap and go to 1920 right now, in the exact same spot. Or
that's
That's either time travel or teleportation.
no, because teleportation you wouldn't be able to go to 1920.
teleportation just says one place to another, like in our time.
Well, yes, but no.
Time is
Time is the fourth dimension.
Like, but again, like if I teleported from here to Pluto, I'm teleporting there, but the time is all different. So it would still be time traveling also.
Because you're not taking time to get there.
Yes.
So if it was an instantaneous, like just
Instantaneous?
snaps to Pluto,
Yeah. You would still be time traveling.
because time is different way out there.
Yes.
because theoretically it would take whatever 1,000,000 years to get there. So because you went 1,000,000 years in a snap, you're
Yeah.
time traveling.
That's
But
Uh,
you can't go back in time. There's no back in time. Well, I guess if you came back from Pluto to here,
You can't go back in time with teleportation, I'd say.
if I teleported to Pluto, waited, had a cup of tea, and then teleported back,
Mm-hmm.
would people here be the same age?
Yes.
No. Well,
Because it is instantaneous,
and
but
time,
relatively, it was instantaneous to the observer.
well, I mean,
But you still went a
what is the
million.
relativity
Well-
in this case? Like, if you had a watch, so you're wearing a watch on your hand, and it says it is currently 1:00. You teleport to Pluto, and you have a cup of tea for 1 minute on your watch. I would think that since it's based off of this, Earth, how we tell time, if you go to Pluto, a minute using your Earth watch, if you teleport it instantly back, it would still have only taken 1 minute even on Earth time. Even though Pluto, you're so far away from the sun, time relativity is different.
Even
Well,
though
because
You-
you're still counting by time on Earth,
Yeah.
and so it doesn't actually change.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually
So it's still the
change.
same measurement.
what's
yeah.
that shit in like Interstellar where like a minute Earth time is like 7 years on that planet?
I think that had
Is
something
that
to do
because
with,
of a black hole?
it's because of gravity, yeah.
Yeah, gravity.
So gravity is
Gravity.
inverse of time.
Bending time
it's
or some
inverse
shit.
of time. Gravity is.
So,
Space holds
yeah,
the
I
two
guess
together.
it
Gravity
wouldn't
is
be
inverse of time.
Any
So if-
different.
So if I went, but like since there's way less gravity on Pluto, my time would move a lot slower. So
But
my minute would be a lot slower than the ones here.
in Interstellar, we're talking about like black holes and stuff. Like that's
But the-
a huge
I
difference
agree.
compared
Yeah,
to
that's true.
Earth.
So okay,
gravity
just to
and
make this more of a point, if I went to Pluto for a year, but I still teleported there and teleported back, would it be a year here?
Are you on?
Oh,
are you
wait.
on Pluto time or our time?
You're on Pluto for a year, so gravity
are you
is
on
way.
Pluto time though, or are you on Earth time?
We were on gravity, so you're way less gravity there, so time is way slower.
Do you think it'd be different if you went further? Like,
I
You
I
got it.
think the amount of gravity that you need to actually bend time is significant. Like you need to have a huge amount of gravity to be able to even see
People that
any-
stay in the ISS, technically when they come back, if it's like there was one person that came back, it was like technically like a few, like a half a second older.
Whoa.
what if I teleported 1 billion light years away and then teleported back? do you think the time here would be any different?
Absolutely.
So
I wouldn't think so
You don't think so?
because you're teleporting.
But you're still in a physical location that has different gravity. And
But teleporting, like the definition is, and it doesn't have to be instantaneous, but in
But it
this
should be, yeah.
reason we're saying it is, if you teleport, a million light
I'd say
years away,
I
and
agree.
then come back.
If you go there and back immediately, but what if you're there for, like I said, a year?
maybe there's a
Well, then
Reddit thread about this.
it would depend on how much like the
Because I do think
what-
that being in Pluto for a year would. I mean, I'm not talking like you'd be like 100 years older, like Interstellar. I just mean like technically, would you be like a minute older? You know what I mean? I think you would be because you still existed in that space, that realm, for a certain amount of time.
Okay, what about
So that wouldn't be time travel because
Oh.
you are
if we're saying
aging. still.
teleportation is instant, right? That's matter, our matter being converted into energy that's moving instantaneously into another place. But if it's matter turning into energy moving, they can only go as fast as the speed of light. So if you were to teleport
Well-
far enough away, you would still be traveling
if-
in
if-
time
if
because
teleportation-
you can't teleport faster than the
But
speed of light.
That's only because
Quantum physics.
yeah, through it because light travels through a physical medium.
Yeah.
Teleporting, you
Right.
don't travel through a physical medium,
instantaneous.
so it would, in theory, be instantaneous. You wouldn't be bound by the rules.
Oh,
that
okay.
we,
So I guess what my what I was just saying is like, if teleportation is your matter, has to do with your matter, like deconstructing and reconstructing in a place, then this would make sense. What I just said would make sense. But if you're saying not, you just exist in another place instantaneously.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be instantaneously. I mean, they leave it vague so you can have like, some open-endedness because again, it's hypothetical. But
What really?
but their definition is just that you don't travel through physical space, which means that like if this water bottle was to teleport to the bear, it could be instantaneously, or if there was some hypothetical rule that it still had to have, fast, like could only be at the speed of light, then you would have some kind of time travel in a way, but it's only time travel forward,
Yeah.
not time travel
Yeah.
backwards.
Right.
And that's what Ian, I think, was saying a while ago, is
Is
like
that you can't go back.
you can't go back with teleporting.
No, because
Yeah.
you're only. But
Because you're still spending time going from here to here. You're not like,
even if you did assume it was
going.
instantaneous, if you spend any amount of time somewhere else that has different gravity, you're not time traveling.
yeah.
You're just existing somewhere else very quick, like going
That's
very
true.
quickly. I think that because you can't go backwards, all you can do is accelerate your aging in time. That proves that it's not the same as time travel.
Yeah,
all you're doing is moving your matter.
Unless if you went, like in Interstellar, went to some place
Yeah.
where there's so much gravity that time for you is slower.
Yeah,
Then you could
Exactly.
teleport yourself back to Earth and fast
but
forward.
but then you're just using quantum physics to your advantage. You're not actually teleporting. Isn't actually time travel. You're just going places to change your age,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
rate. So
yeah,
that's-
well, I mean, I guess technically you're changing the rate of time.
yeah, but I don't think.
I mean, just because you're using quantum physics doesn't mean
But somebody that
it's-
lives in the ISS, they might be a half a second older, but I don't think that technically means, or I guess younger, sorry. But I don't think that technically means that they're time traveling. I think that's just physics.
Existing.
That's just existing in different types of.
yeah, but I
environment.
mean, like just like in Interstellar, like you're on that planet, and if you're there for 7 minutes, it's actually 49 years. Like in
That's not
the
time
spaceship.
You could
travel,
use
though.
it as a means to time travel, though.
Yeah, like it's a way for you to travel time. Like and it's again that observer thing. We're on Earth for 49 years while you're on that planet for 7 minutes.
Yeah, to the
So
out-
you're like, oh, I need to fucking be 50 years in the future. So let me go out to this
yeah.
deviation in time and come back.
Let me go out to this black
you
hole.
are technically time
I'm gonna hang out in this
traveling.
black hole for like a month and then come back and I'll be older. To the observer, you're time traveling, but you didn't time travel. You just went to a place with higher gravity
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah, so like you were saying at the beginning, it all depends on the observer.
It's if it's the observer or if it's you. So I think,
Yeah.
to the observer, I think they're the same thing. They can be if used
Yeah.
the right
if
way.
used correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Only in that instance that we're kind of discussing, though, because you can't
Yeah.
teleport back in time unless if we are looking into. Well, no, you would be able to if you could teleport. You could observe the past because you could travel at the speed of light away from the
Yeah,
Earth
technically.
and find the right location where it was 1930, and
Oh, yeah.
you're seeing, some kind of story of the Wild Wild West way back in the day.
But teleporting is instantaneous. You can't observe like that to find
No,
out.
but if you're teleporting, you can travel faster than the speed of light. And time, since it is like a 4D construct, whatever happened on the Earth and like the sun's reflecting things, that image basically can be transported back out
Yeah.
into space and
I just
like,
don't
traveled.
think you.
So you wouldn't be able to go to the Old West. You'd only be able to
Observe.
Yeah,
observe
basically,
from this point in
You would
space.
take
Exactly.
a giant microscope and look,
Yeah.
and then it would be
But you can't.
Earth
Right,
back
because
in the
that
day.
light
Dude, that shit's fucking crazy.
has-
You can't get
that
there
part of
though
light
because you
hasn't
can't
reached
exist in
you
the
yet,
past.
so-
Yeah, so you can't be a part of time, but you can observe the past if you can track.
That's cool. I like that because you totally can. If you somehow for you it's not instantaneous as well. If teleportation for you takes time, and you
Yeah.
can like take time to observe things, and it's not just bang. But as far as as I know, the idea of teleportation is just like it's instantaneous for you as well. But again, it's the observer thing. Like if someone goes whatever in the future by going to like a higher gravity spot and then comes back, like they're just gonna be fucking older.
Yeah.
And to the observer, they'll be time traveling. But they'll
isn't
be
that
in the
always
same
how time traveling is, though? Like,
Yeah,
it's always
that's
about
just
the whole
physics, yeah.
concept is the observer observing you go back or
But-
forward in
But
time.
the fact that you don't have control over you're always coming back to the same time, the observer's time.
yeah,
You're never changing times. You're just appearing different ages because of where you were.
yeah.
So that's not time travel. That's
Wait, no, that is time travel. That is the exact
but
definition.
you're
That's
always
the
going
definition.
back to the
That's-
same exact time. You're never like you as the teleporter can't change what time you go to ever. You always live in the same time.
your body, whatever you're teleporting at, that will stay the same. You can and when you're traveling these different places, you can have time change for them, which guess what? You're traveling time, because time travel we think about is going back to the prehistoric era,
Well, that's what
going
I'm
back
talking
to the
about.
dinosaurs,
I hear you, but
or
that's,
like
that's what I mean. Like being
like
able to
that's
go.
literally
You
the
go to
definition.
different time periods, but you are the time period if it's teleportation. You can't go to a different time.
You're able to make it so that you can go in the future, but I feel like you can only observe the past. That is, if you're teleporting, that's the basis.
That's cool. I think we could leave it at that.
Yeah.
We got a game show to play.
I got more to say, but I agree. Let's keep
that was
going.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
all pretty good.
Running short on time.
That was all very fun. I like
yeah,
that.
was fun.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Even though it seemed like we had it in the beginning, there's so much more to talk about.
We
it just,
had it in
like,
the
keeps
bag,
going.
and then it just all unfolded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
All
more.
it takes is one person to go,
I
but
don't know.
wait, but hold on.
Like, no.
You're like, oh, fuck.
It's cool.
God damn. Don't say it.
All right. So since we do have a guest today, the band's a little bit crowded, but they're gonna try their best.
Yeah.
So hit it, boys. Every fucking time.
That
It's
was
so
fun.
good.
They're really good. How do they play it the same every time, too? I mean, like, they don't miss a beat.
It's the percussion.
Starting to think they're using a audio track.
Pre-recorded
Yeah.
audio.
They better not be. We paid for a live band.
I did see him hanging out with Britney Spears. Maybe you should give him some
Mhm.
pointers.
Hmm.
You hear they're friends with Milli Vanilli. That's a throwback.
Well, welcome to the No Name Trivia Game.
It's got no name.
It's got no name and it's a trivia game.
Mhm.
I'm going to ask the boys here 10 questions. If they get an answer correct, they will
Jesus.
hear this noise. If they get the answer wrong, they're going to hear this noise. And if they say something totally out of pocket, you might hear this.
Fuck you.
Yep, that's fair.
How it works is they're going to raise their hand. The first person to put their hand up I will call on.
I get a point because I was the first person to put my hand up just then.
If you want to answer the question.
I'm going to take a point for that.
If that's just take the point.
I'll just take my point.
I will say, from being the observer over here,
There
it's
you
hard
go.
for me to see Ian. So I'll do my best to keep you in my peripheral.
Okay.
But
I'll go like this.
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not that.
That actually
Just
would
make
work.
sure you put
Lower
your
it,
hand
lower it a
like,
little bit.
a little more horizontal.
Or sort of diagonally
Or
down.
no. You want your hand to be vertical. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Well, I want to win.
Just put a finger.
They all wanted to win. Okay.
So,
Excuse me.
Yeah. If I don't see it right, and you guys are like, it was very clearly.
We need little like glow sticks in our fingers so you can see the little.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. That's a good idea.
Or like if we had
buttons.
like laser pointer, a button would also work better.
Or like the little betting number things.
yeah.
The betting flag. Sold.
Or like
Wait,
just like
what?
clickers that all have different sounds, like dee doo dee, and you just we know who has what sound after a while.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You could probably like have clickers that like send a signal to the laptop and it'll list who was
Holy
first.
shit, that'd
Yeah.
be sick.
I mean, they have stuff like that.
oh,
I'll look
that's
into
cool.
it. They probably even have like an app for it.
because we
Oh,
need to be
yeah,
100% accurate.
Well,
Yeah.
you could also just have like a button that completes a circuit that lights up a light that shows
your laptop. Like, oh shit!
Like, you don't need to make it a program. You can just be like, this LED lights up because I clicked my thing. His LED lights up because he clicked his thing.
Mm.
True, and we can just put it on top of your computer.
We don't have to make it fucking rocket appliances. Okay.
We can also just raise our hands. So it's fine.
All right. We'll do
Oh yeah, let's try that.
Oh shit! Yeah. Why do we even have electricity in this?
I don't know.
Okay.
So space. No.
My circuit's slower than his.
Is it at the speed of light?
No.
First question. What do you call a group of flamingos? Cully.
A conflagration.
It is something like that. It is something
Wrong.
weird.
Chance for a
Something weird
steal.
like that.
Ian.
A flock.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
Okay, ready?
Oh, is it a
Hey, let me.
He's still
Wait.
chance for a steal.
A
Fuck.
confluence.
Oh God, sorry. I tried to make it easier for myself, but I
we
kinda
word
made it a
even. It
little
just sounded like it could have been
confluence?
a confluence. a
the
conflagration.
answer I am looking for
Ah.
is a flamboyance.
Oh, that's right, because it was a yeah.
Yeah.
I got the ints.
I got the flaw.
All right, next
Nice.
question.
Bind them together.
Put it all together and we get a point. All three of us.
All right, you all get a point. 0.33. We're going to round to the nearest whole number. You all have 0.
Damn.
What do you call? Oh no, we did that one.
Oh, full points.
Who is the father of modern physics? Keenan.
Oh god, now I'm all nervous. Einstein. Oh god, such a pause. I was like Newton.
Sorry.
Just ding it.
Yeah, he like took forever.
It's hard when I'm answering the questions.
Okay.
It's been a while. I'm rusty. I'm so used to winning, or losing actually a lot. What is the capital of Argentina? Keenan.
Buenos Aires.
Correct.
That's
All right.
bullshit. He's been there.
What is the currency used in Japan?
Oh,
Cully.
Yen.
Yes.
yeah. Wait, hold on a second. What is Chinese called? Chinese monies.
I think it's also yen.
Also yen.
It might also. It's the Japanese yen, the Chinese
Oh,
yen.
that's right. Yeah.
But I'll accept yen.
I thought it was the Japanese schmeckles.
Ah. All right, next question. What year was the first model of iPhone released? Ian.
2008.
That's right.
Chance for a steal. Keenan.
Oh, fuck. 2004? 5. I don't know.
Chance for a steal.
I was thinking like 2002.
We're probably all
Ian, you were so close. 2007.
Oh, damn it. Give him the point.
Because 4 was the iPod, 5 was the, and then not
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Right.
That was yeah. I knew that.
That was what I
I knew
was
exactly
saying.
what that was.
That's what I meant. I was thinking of
What are we at
Apple
right now?
product.
I forgot.
Keenan has 2. Coley has 1. Ian gets...
Wait, how do I have one?
I thought you had 1.
Oh, I got the yen. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
I was like, I
don't
have
want it.
nothing. Are you kidding me?
And then, Ian, you got the 2007 point from Coley.
I don't want pity points.
It's not a pity
The
point.
2007 point from Coley.
What are the odds of fucking guessing the year?
Pretty. I mean,
I don't
not
know.
that
How many
bad.
years
Like
do you
1 in
have?
like 5 if we just thought about it.
Okay, but he was closest, so I think that's the point, is what I'm saying.
I want a real win.
Okay.
Okay, fine. I'll take your point.
Fine,
then.
you got enough points. Fine. You like that? You like
Alright.
that? Having nothing?
I get 1 point and my own pity point.
Let's see. Linus Torvalds created which open source operating system?
Oh.
Keenan.
Linux.
Close enough, Linux.
Linux. I don't
The
know what to
fuck?
Pronunciation
I didn't
is
even know
hard.
what any of that meant.
I shouldn't be talking about
say.
pronunciation.
I'm pretty sure it's Linus if it's Linux.
Linux.
What do you mean, Linus in his blanket?
What?
I don't think you should get a point because you, if we do Wheel of Fortune rules, you wouldn't get it.
I've had my professor used to say Linux.
Well,
So-
he should be
Is he
fired.
British?
Yes. Actually, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think he was like South African. I don't know. He had a weird accent.
That'll do it.
Yeah, Linux.
Fucking
Do
Linux.
I get it?
Yeah, you
Okay.
got it.
No.
All right, that's 3-1-0. Next question. What powers did Nightcrawler from X-Men have? Cully.
Teleportation.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ha!
I was like, what, Jake
All right.
Gyllenhaal? He just like taking photos or something.
The
Really good at it.
The
creepy
movie?
serial killer movie? No. No, he would disappear into a cloud of dust. Blue dust, because he was blue.
Yeah.
I don't remember why he's blue, but he's like a...
Mutant.
Is he the
Either-
dude with the tail?
Yeah.
Okay.
The-
Oh, what?
He has 3 fingers.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it.
He would go poof.
Next
and then
question.
reappear. Nightcrawler.
Which car is often called the first muscle car?
Oh, fuck.
Ian.
Is it a... Fuck, it could be between 2. Let's do Ford Mustang.
Chance for a steal. Cully.
I think it's the Camaro. Really?
Keenan.
Model T.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. Maybe they consider it a muscle car.
I was looking for the Pontiac GTO.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
gotten that.
good car.
Yeah, I didn't know. They call that the first muscle car.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was
Fuck,
like,
those
I'm
are-
going older because who knows?
Those are so
Model
pretty.
T.
I don't fucking know.
Next question.
The GTO Judge is like the sickest.
That's how I got.
I'll have to look it up.
Anyway, look it up.
Which popular soft drink started out as a medicine?
Oh,
Cully.
Coca-Cola, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Like,
baby.
All right.
Because it
Dang.
actually
Coke
had
in it?
cocaine in it.
It's tied up.
bit.
So this one, I'm looking for as close to the number as possible. So,
So the number, because that's as close as you can get.
yeah.
What
so,
number am I thinking?
So, Cully, since you were kind of the runner-up for this tie, we're gonna go. Keenan guess first, Cully guess second, and then Ian guess third.
What?
So
Okay.
this is the question: how many times does a heart beat per day? So, Keenan, start us off.
what?
Silence. I
Just
love
give me a
it.
second. I'm just gonna
Can
think
I
about it.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Is this assuming it's the same BPM?
It's not just probably the average.
Okay. So I was like, you want the exact number? Like, fuck, it's...
It's a good average.
I have a guess.
Give me 2 more.
All right. Well,
I'm delving
Cully,
into my
you can.
brain.
Cully, you guess then.
4.
What? Stop.
4.
Yeah,
You're guessing that a heart beats 4 times per day.
mine does.
Okay. Keenan's still thinking. Ian.
I'm still thinking.
Okay.
I can't do math, so I could do math.
Is it 7,500?
7,500. Okay. Keenan.
Am I allowed to use my calculator?
No.
Okay. Well, my answer will remain 4 then, but I'm gonna use my calculator.
Do you want
Okay,
me-
I'm gonna just go for it.
Clay, do you want a real number?
What? No, 4 is good. It's a lot.
You're just white.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this in my head real quick. Okay,
Have you not
or
been
out,
doing
out
that?
loud? I'm just gonna do that out loud because I think that's how I have to because I can't do things in my head. 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes per hour. 24 times 60 is like I don't know, around 1,200 something. So let's just say 1,200 people beat their heart like 60 beats per minute probably, which is like a beat per second. So if there's 1,200 seconds in a day, I'm gonna say go up a little bit and say like 2,000.
So you think a heart beats 2,000? Okay, so 2,000, 4, and 7,500. The answer I was looking for is 100,000.
Wait.
Holy
what?
fuck. Hold up.
What's the average
How does that make sense?
heart rate then?
Well, let's
What?
let's pull our handy dandy calculator if my phone will let me.
Oh, it'd be more actually.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
I got
didn't multiply
86.4.
I didn't multiply the last part.
Yeah, me neither.
Out loud. I did minutes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I did how many minutes in a day?
Yeah. So, because this is the average beats per day. If you're looking for BPM, which is 100,000 divided by in parentheses 24 times 60,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you would get 69.4.
Yeah, I didn't.
So the average
multiply
is around
by,
70,
Yeah.
Okay. That
Answer.
makes sense.
which means
Duh.
Really?
Ian is the closest.
Nice.
Let's
Jesus,
ride.
that was.
There you go.
Which means he gets a point, but then we're in the tiebreaker round.
Oh, what are we at?
Because that was the last question.
3 to 3.
It's 3 to 3
Oh,
to
shit.
1.
I can't believe I just butchered that so badly out loud. I didn't multiply by.
I thought I was overestimating.
No. Yeah.
I thought I was
How did
overestimating.
I do that so bad? 24 times 60.
One beat per day.
Yeah. Oh, just did it.
24
Oh,
times 60.
That's my one for
Oh my
that's
God.
my one for the week.
Jesus.
Let's see. I gotta find one. I wasn't ready for this. I thought you guys were gonna get it.
ready.
Okay.
Wait, what? 3?
Please no history, please.
It's 3 to 3.
I thought
Ian, because it's a tiebreaker, we'll have you sit on this one.
Yeah,
If that's all right.
I reckon.
Oh, I didn't get that one right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Which American financier was convicted of running the largest Ponzi scheme in U.S. history?
Oh.
What's his name? I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name. I don't know his name.
2, 1.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
I know it, I think.
The guy that Leonardo DiCaprio played.
Okay. Neither of you guys are getting it. Ian, what do you think it is?
It is Murdoch.
Close. Bernie Madoff.
Yeah.
Madoff.
Yes.
It was like
Yeah, he made off with your money.
whoever.
Bernie Madoff.
Yeah.
Birdie Madoff.
The guy that I named the actor that played him. I think that should.
That's close, yeah.
count as
He never played
half
Bernie
a point,
Madoff.
which should win.
He never played Bernie Madoff.
That was what that was based off of.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Didn't he play the Wolf of Wall
Never-
Street dude? Doesn't
Oh,
that-
That's
that
not Bernie
different
Madoff.
guy.
That's a totally
Is it?
different guy. Yeah.
there's another
That's
Ponzi
Jordan
scheme?
Belfort.
Oh,
That-
Belfort, Madoff. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
God, Ponzi scheme motherfuckers.
What song did Paul McCartney pen for John Lennon's son, Julian?
What song did Paul McCartney
What?
pen for John Lennon's son, Julian?
Yeah.
Pen?
Cully.
Like, did he write
Now
this
that I
song?
raise my hand, I'm thinking about it. It's totally wrong.
Did Julian, is he an artist too? Like, he penned it, made it for him, or he like made a
He
song?
wrote the song.
Yeah,
Oh.
That's what penning
Yesterday.
is. That the name of a song?
Oh, my
Yes.
trouble seems so far.
I have an educated guess,
Yeah, that's.
but I'm not
that's
going to
it.
go until you go.
Well,
That's it.
So
I-
many Beatles songs. There's so many.
I don't know Beatles song names.
Yesterday.
So
Okay. Well, then no.
What's the kid's name?
Julian.
There's so many fucking songs.
3, 2, 1.
Yellow Submarine.
Ian, what do you think it
Is
was?
it Hey Jude?
Oh, that's a good idea.
God damn it.
Okay, you know
I
what?
love the Beatles,
Ian-
dude.
Jude and Julian.
Ian, if you get enough answers and tie with them, you have a chance to steal the
Yeah,
championship.
Let's try.
That's absolutely
Oh,
fair.
fuck.
That's fair as fuck. Keep it going, people. One of us has to win.
Let's see. God, there's so many things.
So you made the song. I thought you like made us. I don't know.
It's penning. Just means
Yeah.
I didn't know it's about some kid. I thought it was about a chick.
Was it about some kid or was it?
It was about the other guy's son, Julian.
Got it. See, my brain went that he made it for the kid to.
No,
have.
when you
yeah.
like pen a
Yeah,
song.
yeah, that makes sense in hindsight.
Okay. What is the name of Sabrina's cat in the Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
What the fuck is that?
It's a show / movie.
Sabrina's cat and Sabrina and the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, the name of the cat in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I don't even remember that show. Sounds familiar.
God damn, he's a little black cat.
Yeah. He's very talkative. 3, 2, 1.
Jasper.
Incorrect. Cully, chance for a steal.
Do you know?
Oh, it's
No.
3,
something with a D.
2, 1.
Just say something.
And
Barthasol.
Ian, what do you think?
Is it like Jinx or some shit?
That is incorrect.
Watch that.
Yeah.
I was looking for Salem.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
What was I thinking
My
of then?
sisters used to watch that shit, but
I've never
I did.
never seen that.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Jesus
stupid.
Christ.
I knew a girl who named her cat Salem because of that.
Next question.
Whoops.
How many legs does a lobster have?
He raised his hand.
Ian
Oh,
raised his hand.
I cannot. How many?
8.
Chance for a steal. Cully.
I just don't know.
12?
Chance for a steal.
10.
Get fucked.
Let's go. Lobsters.
That's it.
Or are you counting the little dingly legs? Or
all legs. Whisper the legs. I was waiting for you to get it wrong so I could just use the process of elimination. I knew it wasn't 8 because ain't no arachnid.
Ain't no spider.
Boy. I ain't scared of it. That's how I know ain't no 8-legger.
So there's 5 on each. Son of a bitch.
That was the longest fucking
Fucking
game.
lobsters.
Yeah, sorry. I thought
That Hey Jude one that was cool. I didn't think about that song.
I thought you would get it because I always see you trying to sell like the Beatles anthology.
I know all their songs pretty well. I never heard about that. That's cool.
I think I've heard that somewhere.
You definitely
I've
have.
Probably.
It's a
heard
good
that.
song.
You've heard Hey
Oh no,
Jude.
I've heard Hey Jude, but
Oh.
like the fact. No shit, I know what Hey
heard
Jude
that
is.
somewhere. That's so familiar.
No, that sounds familiar.
Hey Julian.
was-
Yeah,
I-
he changed his name to Jude.
Was
Yeah,
his son
it's-
like sick or something? While you wrote
I
it?
have no idea.
I see it.
It just
Remember why.
sounds similar.
Sounds
so
like he was like a teenager and he's like, go get her, little boy. Or little kid.
Yeah.
a little tyke.
Go get him there, scamp.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna have to be wrapping up here.
Yeah.
So,
Let's do her.
Ian, do you got anything that you want to be putting out on the interwebs?
I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, but I don't post.
Buy his thrift
So-
shop shit.
Yeah, I plugged that last
shop
time,
shit.
but if you
Val
want to
Street
follow
Vintage.
my thrift shop online, it is what is it? It's Val_Street_Vintage, and I have a bunch of dope shit that I don't want, so you should buy it.
Yeah.
Buy it. He'll send
Buy
it
it.
to you.
Do it.
Yeah.
He'll teleport it to you and then time travel back.
You guys let us know what you thought about What About This? It's a new segment we're trying out.
It's a new thing. It's a lot of
What about this?
yelling.
Yeah, a lot of yelling.
Because the What's the Diff is fun, but we also have to every week prepare like a presentation.
To do research.
It's fun, but it's nice to be able to just have like an open discussion without,
Stressing about
stressing
research.
so much every week. Yeah.
And a fun fact about Hey Jude, because I was like, there has to be a reason. It was because John Lennon left his wife Cynthia for Yoko Ono, and their son Julian was like upset
Oh.
because
Oh,
Yoko Ono sucks.
yeah.
So that was bad. Divorce.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah, I thought it was like he was sick or something, but yeah, it was like, yeah, sorry, your dad's a dick.
Yeah, he was in. John Lennon was in the Beatles. Yeah. No?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was like the
Yeah.
Beatle.
Yeah.
No,
so-
Paul McCartney's the Beatles.
Paul McCartney,
He's
John
second.
Lennon,
Then it was
I mean,
George Harrison and Ringo.
I'm just
George
imagining like
probably.
you're like on tour. It's like we're playing Hey Jude.
Yeah,
It's like, well, I don't. We're playing Hey Jude.
They had
guys,
a
I don't
lot
really
of-
like this song.
They had a lot of issues because of all that kind of stuff with Yoko.
She was trying to like
Yoko.
manage the fucking band.
Yeah,
Yeah. more
Pretty
like
sure she's
Yoko
the reason
Ono.
they broke up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
probably.
That's what people say.
Big
Fucking
part of it,
bitch.
There's
That's
videos
crazy.
of I think it was John Lennon and I fucking forget the artist's name, Chuck Berry, and they're like doing some song
A
and
live performance.
yeah, the live performance, and then Yoko Ono just like somehow gets a microphone and starts like
Yeah.
into the microphone, and you
Fucking
just
weird,
see Chuck
dude.
Berry like, what the
Didn't
fuck?
they just turn the microphone
yeah, they cut her
off?
mic off.
Yeah. And at
Yeah.
points, she's like trying to find other microphones that work, and the sound engineer is just like, nope.
That's
nope.
so whack, dude. Okay, I do have to go, but you
Yeah.
guys can continue.
Thanks for joining, bro.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
worry. We got the
so
outro here.
long.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode of What's the Diff. Next, we will be discussing raves versus concerts. Thank you, listener Victoria. Vapes versus cigarettes. And bats versus birds.
That's
Have an opinion on something we've already discussed? Want to hear one of your topics debated? You can connect with us at what'sthediff.net. Leave us a text or a voicemail at 802-884-3553 or send a voice clip to us at hellowhat'sthediff@gmail.com. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.